Good morning. Elvis has left the house.
Good morning.
He had another one, too, which was perfect.
Oh, my God. He was fantastic yesterday. Oh,
I want to hear that clip. That was so...
fantastic.
Not on purpose.
No, it was not on purpose. He didn't.
I'm so happy it happened, too.
He blundered.
I've never loved Trump more than dumb Tim Cook sitting there having to take it.
Do you want to... I think we should look at the video on that one.
Okay, you got it.
Because I think that Tim Cook having to act like he didn't hear. So yesterday...
CEO of Apple.
CEO of Apple. And it's just so funny because we were talking about him just yesterday and what a waste he is.
Yeah.
But yesterday there was some business meeting. And go to 2650, I believe, Troy Kwan. There was some business meeting, and Trump was sitting up there with a lot of well-respected people who've done a lot of stuff for this country. It was President Trump, and they're in the White House. And on each side, on his left side, is the beautiful Ivanka Trump. And on the right side is the gorgeous Tim Cook from Apple.
She is lovely, isn't she?
Oh, my God. She's incredible. I sat behind her once at a press conference for WrestleMania 23. You know, the WrestleMania where Donald Trump took a Stone Cold Stunner in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Greatest thing he's ever done. Yeah. But I sat right behind Ivanka and saw her in person. She is a knockout.
Yeah, she is.
My God, it's like crazy. But Tim Cook is sitting right next to him at this table, and the Donald wants to thank him and give him his props for everything that he's doing for America. And this is what it sounded like yesterday.
And people like Tim, you're expanding all over and doing things that I really wanted you to do right from the beginning. I used to say, Tim, you got to start doing it over here, and you really have. I mean, you've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
Tim Apple. That's so uncomfortable.
That's not his name.
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
Tim Applehead.
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 Tim Applehead.
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
Like
Apple Fires. Apple Tim.
You just have such a one-track brain that you're just thinking, okay, Tim works for Apple. Tim works for Apple. Thank you, Tim Apple.
Tim couldn't be more. He hates Trump. You could tell.
Yeah, he's got every reason to. And then Trump calls him Tim Apple. He's not even one of the founders of Apple.
No.
He took over as CEO after Steve Apple passed away from cancer.
Yeah, from apoptotic cancer.
That's right. Yeah, if anybody gets the Apple last name, it should be Steve Apple Niak and the two Steves.
Yeah, Steve
Apple and Steve Apple. Yeah.
Christ, Tim would even sit next to him.
Well, it's the president. You can't.
Yeah, it's the president. I'm sure Apple gets some pretty nice tax breaks.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm sure socially, Tim disagrees with
Everything. Yeah.
everything that Trump says, but on a business level, I'm sure that Apple enjoys quite a bit of assistance from the government. They talk about how Amazon pays like no taxes and makes billions of dollars every year. These big companies, they like their positioning. The last thing that they want to do is shake the waters at all. Especially if you're so valuable to the company that the company is actually named after you.
That's right.
Tim Apple.
Yeah.
What do we call this company? I don't know, but the guy who doesn't work here right now but could be CEO one day after you die, Steve Jobs, Tim Apple. He's a pretty good guy. Do you want to name it after him?
Sure.
Should we name the company Apple after this guy I know, Tim Apple?
It sounds a lot better than hey, Cook came out with a new iPhone.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I like the Cook Pod.
Yeah. Wait, did you get one of those new Cook computers?
Yeah.
What? I
got a Cook Pad.
Nah, it's too confusing.
Tim Apple.
Tim Apple.
It's great.
Yeah. There was a clip from I think a couple years ago that he called a woman from, I think, Lockheed Martin. Was that it? He called her like Sue.
Betty Plain?
No, I think he called her like Sue Lockheed or something. Like it was along the exact same lines of this.
Yeah, he called her Marilyn Lockheed.
Marilyn Lockheed. He must have mental exercises, because you can see sometimes that when he's out there talking, and he does such a good job of just filling time. He's very good at ad-libbing, but I think that when there's certain things that he actually has to remember, he must have little mental exercises that he does to memorize things, because he thinks about himself constantly. So when he's got to think about other people, he must have little mental cues that go on in his head so he doesn't forget things.
Right.
And one of them is probably, okay, Marilyn Lockheed. Marilyn Lockheed. This is Marilyn Lockheed. Yeah, listen to this. This is
What's
from,
her real name?
I don't know.
Anything but Lockheed?
It's definitely not Lockheed. Her name. What's her name?
Hewson.
Hewson. It's not Lockheed.
Close.
Yeah. That's like, well, you know what? He named it. What's the name of Donald Trump's company?
I see where you're going.
Trump.
Exactly.
He probably assumes that everybody does that.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. Yeah.
He's like, that's how you know who's
Ford.
who.
Ford was Ford, yeah.
Exactly. Although I don't think the current CEO of Ford is also named Ford.
No.
But he figures if you're going to put the name in big letters on top of something, it's got to be your name.
Sure.
Why else would you do it?
Colonel Electric started the company and then gave himself a little boost in the title.
That's right.
To General.
That's right. To General Electric.
I could see your embarrassment as you were saying that.
He's a military man.
Yep. I am a little embarrassed.
You should be.
Yep.
You should be.
We have some of our great business leaders and leaders, period, right behind me. I may ask Marilyn Lockheed.
Put a little flair on it, Lockheed.
You know, a lot of people, the company is called Lockheed but Lockheed is how you would pronounce the actual last name. Is that right, Marilyn? No, that's not correct, President Trump. I see.
Did she correct him?
I don't think she did.
No one corrects the president.
No, I mean, let him do his thing.
Yeah.
You know, if he wants to call me Marilyn Lockheed, that'd be like if he were said, of course, you know, Jim Comedy Cellar.
Yeah. And Scott Sirius down the hall.
Yeah, I think so.
It's funny that there's not any embarrassment whatsoever.
Oh, no.
With Trump. That's what he'll just like. You'd think he would go, "Don't fuck this up again. You fucked it up before."
He didn't care.
Nope.
No, because he'll go like this. Yeah, I know. That's not his name.
Yeah.
And then he'll move like that's and anybody that's reporting that I thought maybe Tim Cook's name was Tim Apple because he's the CEO of Apple, that's fake and presidential harassment. By the way, that's what that is presidential harassment. And let's keep it moving because I'm doing great things. The unemployment numbers are way down, especially black unemployment, way down. And you're going, what does that have to do with? You just called Tim Cook Tim Apple.
Yeah. Although if Tim corrected him, he probably would have just said, "Oh, you know."
Yeah, I know.
He would have handled it.
Of course he would have. Because Donald Trump doesn't blink. Like, if there's one thing that he can do, it's put out the image of what he wants Donald Trump to be.
But he probably would have done the same thing you just said. He probably, if Tim would have said, "Oh, it's Tim Cook," he probably would, "Oh, that's right. I forgot everybody doesn't name their companies after themselves." He would have said something off the cuff.
I doubt he would have been that clever.
Maybe not that clever.
I think he would have just lied because he would never admit that he didn't know.
You know, what do you think he'd say? I was just joking.
Or he'd go like this, Tim Apple. And he'd go, Tim Cook. And he'd go, no, I know, Tim Apple, you work for Apple. And just move out, like, keep it moving. You know what I mean? He wouldn't actually come up with a suitable excuse. It's just, keep it moving. Move on to the next thing.
You don't think he'd stop and do a little self-deprecation?
No. Keep it moving.
All right.
You know how you can tell that Donald Trump is not a giant fan of self-deprecation? He decided to be the only president who doesn't go to those press dinners.
Yeah.
You know, when they bring out, what are those called?
White House Correspondents'
The
Dinners?
White House Correspondents' Dinners.
Yeah.
He doesn't go to them because he doesn't like being teased. He says it's because he doesn't like the press, but he doesn't like jokes about him. Remember when they did the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Seth Meyers was hilarious.
And he was sitting at the table. He wasn't even the president. And he was like, Seth Meyers is sitting there making jokes about Trump. And Trump is like, well, fuck this. I can't wait to be president, so I don't show up to these things ever.
And then Obama smashed him.
Yeah, he did. And Trump didn't like it. The roast of Donald Trump. He just kind of sat there going like, okay. Like he knew he had to. He was getting paid. But he didn't like it.
I wasn't on that one. Voss was on that one.
Was he?
That's the night I met Trump, yeah. I was with Voss.
Oh, you were his date?
Yeah, Melania was there too. She looks so good.
Trump surrounds himself with beautiful women.
Oh, does he?
That's one thing. These beautiful women, man, they really will put up with a lot of nonsense if you're Donald Trump. You would think, you know, for average guys like us, maybe slightly below average guys like some of us, you go, oh man, how do you get these beautiful women? They seem so unattainable. You have to have something to say. You have to be interesting, you know what I mean? You have to be worldly. And then you get this guy that's going like, oh, this is Tim Apple. He works for Apple, so it must be Tim Apple. And he's just got beautiful women around him all the time.
I'm Jim Hilarious.
Why would they call you that? Action! That's not fair.
That's not what I meant to hit.
I figured. That brings it all together.
Thank you.
That's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quality stuff.
Let's go to Sean in North Carolina. What's up, Sean?
It'd be great if Trump ever met the president of Massengill. I'd like to thank Jeff Douchebag for being here today.
I think that's great. Thank you, Sean. It's amazing. And it's amazing the stuff that sticks. All night last night, one of the number one trends on all social media was Tim Apple.
People noticed it?
People loved it. I mean, just loved it. Because, it's fun. It's the greatest thing ever. When the president goes and calls him Tim Apple.
They're friends? Maybe they are friends.
I don't know if they're... You think they're friends?
It says on Mashable, Trump calls his friend and Apple CEO Tim Cook Tim Apple.
They're probably associates.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if they're friends.
Tim Apple.
I think if they were friends, you probably know his name was Tim Cook, not Tim Apple.
Well, he might have made a mistake.
Would you ever see yourself making a mistake like that?
100%. Yeah,
you could see that.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Travis said.
Well, that was during the last episode of Nitro, correct?
I should just shut up.
That one.
I'm just bombing left and right.
Yeah.
Shut my mouth.
It'll be a long day.
It's going to be a long one.
That's okay. We're
12 minutes in and 2 fucking Hiroshima bombs in a row.
We got some extra help coming in today. Don't worry. We'll carry you through to the end.
We do. We have, what time is Andrew Schulz?
Andrew Schulz is coming in a little while. And Paul Virzi is coming in too.
Oh, good.
So
But didn't Paul not come last time? He couldn't make it. He traveled. He got fucked up. Or was
if
I
that's
not
the
here?
truth, then I don't want him in here.
We were going to see him and we didn't. So
I don't remember.
To plug his
Yeah,
special.
he even sent photos.
Oh,
I
that's
believe
right.
him, yeah.
That's right. I remember. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
But he'll be in today. Both of them have a lot going on. And
Did Paul's specials came out? His special came out, right? Okay.
mm-hmm. And Andrew Schulz is releasing his special in parts on his YouTube channel.
Good.
So he's got the first 2 parts of Views from the Cis out right now. But it's cool to watch what people are doing in comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
That's a good
figuring
idea,
out,
sure.
figuring out what the industry is doing and where it's going, and just getting on top of it. It's awesome. Alex Trebek was also he kind of dropped some news. So when I heard this, actually I heard it when we were taping the Chipperson podcast.
Chip
last
broke the
night.
news.
Yeah, I had no
It'll
idea.
be Sunday before anybody hears it.
Yeah, we'll all be acting surprised when it comes out on Sunday, and people go, "Yeah, this is from 5 days ago." But Alex Trebek jumped on Jeopardy last night and made an announcement that shocked the world.
The way he does it, too, what a pro.
What a pro.
78 years old, what
Dude,
a pro.
I can't believe that he's 7. I didn't even know for sure if he was still... Because I knew he was retiring, so I didn't know for sure if he were still doing new episodes of Jeopardy or not, but he is. And apparently he's got time left on his contract.
3 years.
But he does not come across as a 78-year-old man who's sick. He comes across the same way he came across when he had that mustache.
That's right.
So here's Alex Trebek last night making his announcement on Jeopardy.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base. I also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some...
Could you pause for a second? Since when is Alex Trebek open and transparent with the Jeopardy fan base? He just sits up there and reads questions. Who the fuck knows anything
Maybe
about
he's
Alex
made
Trebek?
announcements before we haven't paid attention because we're not part of that fan base because we're stupid.
Oh, because the questions are too hard for us?
You bet they are.
Right.
Give me potent potables for 200 and then I tap out.
That's right. I get excited. I'll turn on Jeopardy and I'll just take out the categories. And more often than not, I'll switch the channel. But every now and then you turn it on and they're like, Tom Hanks movies. And I go, okay, Here we go. I love when they do categories that guys like me know the answers to.
Sure.
Because usually...
Homosexuals.
That's not what I was referring to. Because usually if it's like Tom Hanks movies... all the dorks that are actually playing Jeopardy, they don't know anything about movies. They've been reading books all the time.
That's right.
So I feel smarter than all of them.
You should.
Because I'm just guessing big and League of Their Own for every single answer. And more often than not, I'm right.
Yes, Philadelphia, they never.
And they never get that. They didn't see that one.
No.
They're too busy reading about what actually happened. They don't know there even was a movie. Okay, here's Alex.
Or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working, and with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me. Keep the faith, and we'll win. We'll get it done. Thank you.
The
What
audience
a
could have given
fucking
him.
pro.
He could have given him a bigger laugh. He's trying to give him a joke while he's announcing to the world he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Give him a chuckle.
Stage 4.
How many stages are there?
4.
Shit. And do they start with the highest?
No, they don't. They start with 1.
You know what?
Depressing.
Listen to that attitude, though. We could all learn a lot from Alex Trebek. That's the attitude that everybody should come in. If this guy has stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and he's sitting there going, I'm going to fight this thing, I'm going to be the one that survives so I can keep hosting Jeopardy, what do the rest of us have to complain about?
Well, he's 78. I mean, he said at one point, I guess there was an interview with him where he said recently, hey, look, it didn't happen when I was 50. Like, he's like, you know what, it's my time to go, it's my time to go. What is the survival rate for pancreatic stage 4? I know Patrick Swayze had.
I think so. I think
That's
it
a
is.
terrible
It's
one.
not good.
It's not good at all.
Fucking terrible.
And I don't know much about it, but I read that
Shocker.
the what does that mean?
Go ahead.
Okay. I read that the symptoms are so like not there that by the time you get diagnosed, it's at stage 4.
Ow.
Oh, the survival rate is about 3% for 5 years.
3%. And that's to survive for 5 years, meaning that after 5 years it gets even lower.
What are the
I would imagine, right? There's no cure.
what does stage 4 mean? Let's go to that. Because whenever you hear stage 4, at the lower, Troy, it says Alex Trebek's pancreatic cancer.
Yeah, I mean, stage 4 cancer means that the cancer is spread or metastasized from the pancreas to another part of the body, such as the liver, lungs. Yeah, stage 4 means that it's pancreatic cancer, but now it's spreading through your body, which it gets real hard to zap when it starts moving to all the different parts.
And it's a hard one to get in the early stages.
Yes.
All right, there he goes. Most, you're diagnosed once it's reached stage 4.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What's he going to be on TV after he's doing chemo?
Yeah, at that stage, the tumor cannot be treated with surgery.
I don't know if he looks as good as that comedian Quincy Jones looked after chemo. I don't think there's any reason to be off TV.
That's true.
You know, Quincy Jones was on Ellen with his beard after chemo.
There's no screening test. This cancer is particularly deadly. 9% of patients surviving. 9%. Stage 4, the 5 years, only 3%. Wow.
He's at stage 4.
No, I know. Fuck.
Well, you know what?
You can't test for it at all?
Well, I'm sure you can, but you just... I mean, who goes into their doctor and goes...
I would. I'd pay.
Now? Yeah.
I'd pay for a test.
But there's so many things like that to check for, right? Like, I mean, I'm sure there's a long list of diseases and sicknesses that people get that you could go in and say, hey, doctor, check me for all of these. But they're expensive and take forever. And
It's worth doing if you have the money to do like every couple of years or whatever. I mean, again,
Sure, definitely. I'm not saying that people shouldn't check for pancreatic cancer, but I get why it just doesn't come up. And most doctors, if you don't have any sort of signs of weakness or anything, if you appear to be a healthy person,
Thanks.
well, you wouldn't know.
Let's go to the 10 do's and don'ts to
Are not
reduce
checking
your
you for
risk of
stuff.
cancer.
That's just for you. I mean, that's not even for...
For the audience, too. They're all
It's not
listening.
for the
I
audience.
don't have cancer.
You're just scared.
Yeah, I am. Fuck. God damn it, man.
You're a selfish guy. You hear this about Alex Trebek and you start worrying about yourself
But everybody
immediately.
that's what everybody does with sickness. We start worrying about cancer. It makes you think about stuff you don't always think about.
That's why Kevin and Bean in L.A.
Mhm.
Bean is leaving the show at the end of the year.
Yeah.
He announced yesterday, after 30 years, he's leaving. And he said that one of the catalysts is that he's always wanted to move back to Europe because that's where he's from. And that when Luke Perry died, it really like kickstarted that in his head that, nothing's guaranteed. And if you want to do something, you have to do it.
Yeah, he's moving to London. And actually, our pal Jensen Karp is taking over for him.
What's he doing for work then?
He's good, man. Are you fucking kidding me? He's been Kevin and Bean for all these years.
Yeah, he doesn't have to work, but he said that he wants to get a job in radio over there.
Yeah,
He's
what,
good
what
to
did he
go.
say? If you want to do something, you got to do it, right?
Well, yeah, and then when you see somebody, but like you just said, when something happens to somebody, it kind of gets something going in your head. And when Luke Perry died at 52 or whatever,
In great health.
right? And he's been thinking about moving back to London for years and years and years, and he's like, "What is it? Always going to be something on the horizon? Like you just have to do it."
He's
I didn't realize he was from fucking London.
He's 100% right. I mean, there's so many people that just sit there with their bucket lists or I want to do this one day, I want to do that one day, and they're not doing any work towards actually
Right.
getting that done. It's sad. You know, you talk about it all the time. You talk about all the people that you meet that are older at this point that are going, oh, I wish I just tried stand-up once. And you're going, just try it. Just go up there and do it. Just do this stuff. I guess I don't know what it is, because it's not like it's just a stand-up. Fear of public speaking is one of the biggest fears ever. But I think people have this bigger fear of not going for these things that are dreams in their heads, because the idea of failing is so catastrophically scary that they just try to avoid it, and that's like tragic.
And it's the idea of losing the fantasy.
Yeah,
I always thought
totally.
It's people can handle failure, but it's the idea of that little daydream you have.
Yeah,
like that thing to look forward to. Like someday I'll do that. Like that little carrot you hang in front of yourself. People are afraid of losing that and knowing, wow, it's not going to happen.
It's like it's the same thing as when you're friend zoned by the girl in middle school, and it's better to stay friends with her and not go for the, I'm going to just tell you that I have feelings for you.
That's right.
Because she can reject you, and then this relationship you've built in your head is gone.
Absolutely.
People, but when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes to work and just things that people have always wanted to do, they carry that mentality into their adult life.
That's right.
And just never.
I'm leaving the country.
Thank God. That's what I'm trying to push Jim to just. What I'm telling you, Jim, is maybe quit radio. No,
I want to do it. I'll just do it on ISDN. Traveling the world.
No, you don't want to. You don't want to miss.
No, travel the world.
Yeah, go.
You did it from ISDN on Skype that day. It was great.
It didn't. There was sound quality issues, or
excellent. Travis, comments?
I mean, that's what Bean's been doing for 20 years.
Yeah, but he's doing it from a studio, isn't he? Or no, home
He's
studio.
doing it from his home. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be able
to Seattle. What, like 17 years ago?
Yeah.
And he moved
by the way,
to New Orleans.
That is funny.
Nolans is what they call it.
You don't mention
Travis.
that when you're in studio, but they have not been in the same studio for. I didn't realize it was 17 years.
Yeah.
I actually
they've been doing that for 17 years.
Yeah, he moved to Seattle that long ago.
I thought it was like 2 or 3. I had no idea it was 17 years.
I love those guys too. I've done their show a lot, and they've been really, really nice to me in LA. I'm happy for him that he's doing what he wants to do. I'm sad because I really enjoy that show so much.
Yeah, man, you should move to Europe.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
I don't want to be in Europe. I want to be in Canada or no. I want to say London. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, go to London.
Yeah,
Bean
good.
is a hero.
I want to be.
That's who's leaving, right, Bean?
Yes.
Okay. Bean is a hero, Jim. Be like Bean.
In London?
Go to London, and unfortunately the time difference won't allow you to do the show anymore. But
no,
just
I
go.
You know what? Bean's looking to do a radio show. Maybe they can hook up.
Ooh. Jimmy and Bean.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop you from
Beans
living
and
your
Jimbo.
You know what? Even better. Go and do Beans and Jimbo in London.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what you should here's what you should do. Go to London, start a whole new identity. Be Frank Norton. You know what you could then do a radio show called?
What?
Frank and Beans.
I love it.
Isn't that fun? Because it's Dick and Balls, It's a fun little double entendre. And people love double entendres.
They really do.
Especially in England.
Yeah. They like little wordplay.
Oh, yeah. And you can go on the radio. You make fun of people's teeth. Talk about what the Queen is doing. Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah.
You just imagine being that guy who steals other people's dreams. Like, Bean's sitting here going, like, I've always wanted to go back to Europe, and I want to do it before it's too late. And you're like, yeah, Bean's right. I'm going to Europe too. No, that's not. You don't just steal other people's goals. You do what you want to do.
I want to travel the world, but I still want to be on the show with you.
Yeah, since when? Like, that's the other thing.
You inspired me, Travis.
There are some times when people take this mentality, but they're not interesting people, so they don't actually have any goals or aspirations, so they just make shit up. They go like, oh, I've always wanted to travel the world. No, you haven't.
Yeah, you never mentioned that to anyone.
You have not always wanted to travel the
world.
world.
You never said that.
It's not true. Well, it's my lifelong dream. You just thought of it 2 weeks ago.
And so they don't look at each other either. I don't know how they do it. They do a really good show, too. I have no idea how they do it without looking at each other.
Well, they do it on video screens, right? Or no?
No.
No video screens?
No.
That's crazy.
I mean, maybe after 17 years, the chemistry is just such that they know exactly when the other one's going to talk.
30 years. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, 17 years of doing it.
They were doing it for 13 years, and then one left for 17. Why Seattle? I guess it's where he's from, and he just loves it there.
No, he's not from Seattle. He's from London.
He's from London.
Oh,
we
then
already
why
went
Seattle?
over this.
I don't know enough about them.
Maybe he had a wife or something from Seattle.
Coffee.
I mean, I know he's married. Is it coffee?
They do good coffee in Seattle.
Okay. All right.
And you know that Missy
Really
Elliott?
have to like coffee.
You know that Missy Elliott song, I Can't Stand the Rain?
Yeah.
Bean was like opposite for me.
His name is Gene Baxter. I didn't know that.
Don't fucking...
What says it in the article?
Well, yeah, but we're trying to kayfabe this shit for Bean right now, Come on.
Wow. He's leaving.
He's leaving. But yeah, I would say if you're sitting there and there's stuff you've always wanted to do, you just have to go do it. Don't worry about, oh, but where does this lead to? But what does this mean? But what's the long term? Just go and do it. However, don't just make something up to make yourself interesting.
Yeah.
If there's nothing in your heart that you want to do, if you just run out of passion for life, just sit there and watch your television shows. That's fine too. You know?
Yeah.
Nothing worse than somebody faking, if I have dreams.
I do.
You do not.
We've seen people do that.
You're right, we have. Yeah, this has always been a dream. I never heard about that.
You never mentioned that to anybody.
You never mentioned that. You never. Since when? Well, I didn't want to say anything, but it's always been a dream.
Never heard it.
And that's not true.
Bullshit.
Yeah, in fact, you had other things that you said was your dream.
Yeah, that was actually the opposite of your dream. You wanted to stay put.
You can't have multiple dreams. You can have multiple things you want to do.
And how many times have I told you I want to travel the world, though? I mean...
Today or before today?
Before today.
No, never. You've never said it.
Oh.
You don't want to travel the world.
I want to be worldly.
No, you don't.
Getting older. I'm 50. You get old.
You don't even like leaving your house.
There's nowhere to go in New York.
I've seen it all. Let's go to Sean in Buffalo. What's up, Sean?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey, Sean.
Good, buddy.
Listen, just about Trebek. I lost my dad about 6 months ago from stage 4 prostate cancer, and the thing with cancer of the organs is it really, when you get it in stage 4, when it's diagnosed as such, it's almost a death sentence immediately. I think it was Patrick Swayze who had almost exactly the same thing, and the reason the survival rates are so low is that once the cancer infiltrates the organs, there's just entirely too much damage and too much area to kind of, consider treatment for. And it really is just, it becomes a quality of life thing.
Just chemo. Yeah, you got to do chemo. He's going to do chemo, I think.
Yeah, but I guess you make the decision.
Or a mix of both. It's just, it's
You're like you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I would assume that the thought process is, do you want to, if the survival rate's if you're going through chemo and there's a 3% chance that it'll even work, at 78, do you want to sit through chemo treatment and be miserable and then have a 97% chance that it's not going to do anything anyway? Or do you just ride out the next couple months or whatever it is and say goodbye, say your farewells?
And you guys were talking about doing all the things that at that point in your life to just say the hell with it and do whatever you want. And I know, like, from our experience, my dad had it for just about 6 years, and it wasn't until the last 6 weeks that it was that bad. But
that's got to fuck you up so bad, Sean. Like the idea that you're sitting there watching, for 6 years,
that he has it,
but you're sitting there just kind of living with it, and you go, oh, this isn't so bad. Like, he's doing okay. We're still hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then it's 6 weeks. That last 6 weeks where it just hits you, and you go, holy shit, this has been real the whole time.
And it was, it was one thing after another, and I think a lot of people don't realize, too, that, like, diseases like prostate cancer and breast cancer for women especially, you generally will not die from the cancer that you're diagnosed with. It's when they metastasize and they get into the bone structure and they get into the organs. I mean, they classify it as, you died of prostate cancer, but in reality, your organs fail. I know that, like you guys were saying, it was very difficult to live that, almost 5.5 to 6 years of everything A-OK, and then one thing after another, after another, after another.
Right.
And that's the thing that catches you, and that's the thing that really, kind of going back to what you guys said before about doing things you want to do, that's the time where you just go, shit, I really wish we would have done that. But at the same time, because, like you said, you're worried about that next day, you generally do put things off. And
I get that.
Traveling became an issue and all that other stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, it sucks. And it never ends well. And for Trebek, it's great to put a brave face on it. And I would think that someone in his position and of his notoriety may have access to a lot of different things that most quote unquote normal people wouldn't have access to.
Norms is what we call them.
The norms. You're right.
The norms.
But at that point, it's really, unfortunately, just a quality of life thing from now on.
Yeah, I get that. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate the call.
It's just it is a death sentence, though, man. You figure cancer has got to be figured out.
Well, I mean, there's so many different kinds of cancer. It's not just like it's one thing that's going to wipe it all out.
No, I know. Once they have one method, though, hopefully they'll have
like a domino effect.
Something that you can get these cells with, and hopefully they're not that different. I know nothing about cancer. I'm trying to get Dr. Steve on the phone here.
Well, that's what they say. That the real issue is that because there's so many different versions of cancer that you might be able to cure one, but you won't cure the next one.
Let's go to, wait, what are the reasons? Slide 1. Let's go to slide 1. Go previous, please. Okay, let's go to slide.
Intro.
We're looking for the top 10 reasons how to avoid cancer.
Smoke. Wow, I'm glad we.
I don't agree with that.
Smoking.
Don't smoke. I don't necessarily think that's been proven. I agree with big tobacco.
No, right. I think they're saying you should smoke to avoid.
Oh, okay, good. Next. Get screened. No.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah.
Don't smoke and check if you have cancer.
Yeah. What's number 4? The next one. Limit your alcohol. These are all obvious. I want something. Eat grapes.
You want the secret weapon that's going to stop you.
I saw something. We have the good doctor on the phone.
Yes, Dr. Steve is on the phone. Not like he's going to tell us anything that we don't already know. But
plus, he's probably saving it for Howard.
Of course he is. Thank God we were having this conversation on a Thursday when we can actually get him on. I saw Dr. Steve finally started listening to our show again when we had Shuli on.
I know. Hey, Dr. Stern. I'm sorry. Steve, but we're talking about pancreatic. Because Alex Trebek got diagnosed with stage 4.
Yeah.
How can you get screened for it earlier?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If cancer would just, knock on the front door and say, "Can I come in?" We'd just say hell no every time and catch it early.
It's impossible.
And the problem is it sneaks in your back window and then knocks you over the head with a lead pipe. So
yeah.
So does Jim's girlfriend.
She does. It's not a pipe. It's not my head.
We simply don't
sneaks
have
in the back door.
Yep. Screening procedures for this particular cancer. Now, in the future, when we identify proteins that are, that we can detect in the blood so that we can, screen for this stuff, we'll have screening panels. But, it's a tough one. So, for example, if you've ever smoked, you should get a low-dose CT of the chest so that you can see if, you've got early signs of lung cancer, because finding that early makes it a curable disease. Finding it late makes it treatable but incurable. And, this is a tough one. Pancreatic cancer is rough. And there's a couple of kinds of pancreatic cancer. There's the type that he has, which is adenocarcinoma. That's derived from the pancreatic gland itself. And then you have neuroendocrine pancreatic cancer that's derived from the cells that produce insulin. And those people actually can live years and years and years with that.
So we don't know for sure what's going on with Alex Trebek. But, Dr. Steve, doesn't it suck for everybody that's already suffering with pancreatic cancer? Because if only 3% of the people survive, or survive 5 years, and Alex Trebek announces that he's going to be one of those 3%, that's got to knock somebody else that was there out of the 3%. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a zero-sum game exactly, but they are literally coming out with new cancer treatments every day, and that's truly not an exaggeration. It's almost impossible to keep up with this stuff. And where we're going with this is we will have a generalizable cure for cancer. I used to say 100 years, then I was saying 50. I just keep ratcheting it down. Now, they're actually, a couple of companies are marketing immunologic treatments for cancer that involve taking the tumor tissue, exposing it to the patient's own natural T cells that kill cancer cells, and injecting them back in, and then the T cells attack the cancer. And there was a case of a woman with stage 4 cervical cancer.
Wow.
Who, and that's a terminal illness, who is now walking around cancer-free because of one of those treatments. So
well, how do people feel about the fact that because you're a hospice doctor, that you have tried to slow down the progress of these cancer cures because you say they're quote bad for business?
Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing on those conspiracy theories, because it is a thing that's out there that we know the cure for cancer. It's simple. And we're suppressing it because it would be bad for business.
That's right.
I will make this pledge right now. If I am ever privy to a simple cure for cancer that modern medicine is suppressing, I will reveal it just for the blowjobs that I would do. You know?
That's very good of you.
How ridiculous is that? That there's nobody, that we're some monolithic group that are suppressing this. It's insane.
The global elite, I think, is what we're
You said 50 years. How many years do you think now?
I'm thinking less than a decade.
Wow.
That's good news for you, Jim.
Close. I think we're that close.
Do you think 10 or 15 years they might have a generalized cure?
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know that it'll help me, but it'll definitely help my kids and their kids.
Why won't it help you? And, you're not that old.
What? Well, because I'm old as hell. Yeah, I am.
You're 50 years old, right?
Thank you, but I'm... Huh?
Were you 50?
No, I'm 63.
Wow, you look great.
You look very good.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
You still got that, and you still got that strong libido too.
That I do.
But is it a coincidence that I said no? You have plenty of time to get cancer cured. How old are you? And then I named my age.
Yeah, I mean, it's very selfish. This has nothing to do with Dr. Steve. This has nothing to do with Alex Trebek. This is only Jim Norton playing. How do I not get cancer?
Well, yes, and how can my friend help me feel better about the possibility of getting cancer? Now, here's the thing. I quit smoking in 2001, but I'm meaning to pick it up again. Would that hurt my cancer avoiding strategy?
Yeah, I wouldn't advise that.
Dr. Steve, do processed foods give you cancer?
There is some data that shows that some foods, particularly those that have been grilled, that have char on them, can be increase your risk. Look, this whole thing is
not the deep fryer stuff, though.
What's that?
Not that deep fryer goodness.
No, that's awesome.
Okay, good.
This whole world is just about mitigating risk because, these people that live to be 120, they've never, that are smoking and drinking vodka in the Ural Mountains and stuff, they never see a doctor. That has nothing to do with modern medicine.
Right.
So for those of us that are at risk for diseases that modern medicine can treat, it's just about mitigating risk. So you don't smoke. Doesn't mean you won't get lung cancer. Just decreases the risk. Doesn't mean you won't have a stroke or a heart attack because, we're either going to die of a heart attack or cancer, unless we get shot by a jealous husband or something like that. But,
Oh, yeah. What's that song? God damn it. You made me think of the song that Vicki Lawrence used to sing.
Oh, I don't know.
When the night lights went, something in Georgia.
Oh, and the night the lights went out in Georgia. Did she sing that?
No. The night something happened in Georgia. It's a terrible reference. I'm ruining the show with it. No, Vicki Lawrence, not Vicki Georgia.
No, let's take 5 minutes and Google it and see if we can get
Troy, that's a shot at you, bud.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The night the lights went out in Georgia.
That's a shot at you. That didn't feel very good, did it?
That stings a little.
Dr. Steve's a smart guy.
I love Dr. Steve. He's taking some shots.
He is taking some shots. He's taking liberties.
So, so you can actually request screenings. How much do they cost to get screened for, like, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, just to pay for it?
Okay, so screening tests should be what we call sensitive, meaning that they'll pick up as many cases as possible, and the disease needs to be prevalent. In other words, there's a large number of population that have this disease, percentage-wise, for a screening test to be valuable. Okay, because otherwise you get way more false positives, or you're getting a bunch of false negatives. So the screening test for lung cancer is a good one because the cancer is treatable early, and you just go in, and it's relatively inexpensive to get one of these low-dose CTs. Getting your colonoscopies done when you're 50 is a good screening test for colon cancer. Not smoking is probably the greatest thing that you can do, and eating a diet rich in fresh fruit and vegetables seems to be cancer prevention or preventative as well as getting exercise. Screening for pancreatic cancer, we just don't have a good one. You could go get a CT scan of your abdomen the amount of radiation that you'll get from that may be cause more risk of cancer down the road than you're going to.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Getting that screening test.
I love all this stuff.
We're still working on that one.
Like when we don't quite know how to avoid things, I feel like the medical community comes together because the things you just listed to avoid cancer, eating more vegetables, exercising more,
have an apple.
It's literally the same things that they were saying to avoid a stroke when Luke Perry died. It's just if you don't want to die all of a sudden, maybe just eat
healthy
fruits and vegetables and work out a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well,
and check your nuts for lumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, check your stupid nuts for lumps.
That's right.
All right.
Well, thank you, Dr. Steve. Of course, you can hear Dr. Steve, by the way. Dr. Steve, a lot of people don't know this, has the longest running show of any program that's on Channel 103 Faction Talk. Dr. Steve's is the one show that's been able to maintain throughout all the ridiculous changes. It's incredible.
And you're staying on Sorry, Dr. Steve.
I'm sorry. I was Sam, when you were videotaping me sticking a finger in Pat Duffy's ass in 2005, would you imagine that you would ever be saying that?
No, well, I'm happy I'm saying it. I think I was listening to it just the other weekend. When I'm driving around, I always get very happy when I turn on the radio and see what's on and Dr. Steve's show is on.
Now, you are staying with us, right? You're not leaving.
Of course not. I'm there as long as Jim McClure will have me.
There was a time where we were talking. You were like, "Yeah, I'm not too sure." You weren't sure where it was, but you're staying.
Yeah. Okay. Now I went through kind of a dark period. I was going to shut the whole thing down, podcast, radio, and everything, and it had to do with a job situation, and that's all resolved. And
good.
I'm going to stay till I die, or they kick me off.
All right, cool.
So Weird Medicine is here on Channel 103 every weekend.
For another month.
And it's also available on demand, isn't that right, Dr. Steve?
Yes, that's one of the best ways to hear it, since the weekend schedule is quite fluid.
Catchphrase.
That's right.
So we'll play at different times, but and then check out our podcast at Riotcast and Stitcher and iTunes and all that shit.
Love it. Thanks so much, Dr. Steve.
All right, thanks, boys.
All right, buddy. See you later.
Dr. Steve's level of expertise that you can just call him up at 7 o'clock in the morning and go like, "Hey, what about cancer?" And he's like, "Wow, here we go."
But he also knows about space,
anything,
and physics. He's a good guy to talk to if you want to know anything about anything. He's a genius, Dr. Steve.
He gets so pissed off. Michio Kaku is the one that pisses him off, right?
Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like his hair and cookie people.
See,
things of that nature. Piece of garbage.
But see, Steve Steverson?
Yeah.
Doc Dockerson?
Yeah. Michio Kaku, what is he shit? Piece of garbage.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I like when Dr. Steve...
Pancreatic. How come it's not in the basement?
Attic. Terrible. I like when Dr. Steve gets mad at physicists.
Cut that part out.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. I like different than this. The old one was Chip doing. This Dr. Steve is Chip.
I like it. I like Dr. Steve as Chip even better because you don't see it coming.
Yeah, you don't. It's just there.
Right. You don't think a bad joke is coming, but then it's like, oh, that's a Chip joke.
Yeah.
In a Dr. Steve voice.
Sure.
I like it. That's Doc Dockerson.
Yeah. Doc Dockerson. It's crazy.
But I do like when Dr. Steve uses his expertise to argue with a physicist.
Yeah.
But I actually think I prefer when Troy uses his complete lack of expertise to argue with a physicist.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is he Mike's little brother or something?
Tyson.
Yeah, what does he have, a chicken empire?
Tyson. A tuss.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well,
hey, Travis, what do you shave with? Miracle Grow? No, that's
When you say next he's got beard?
Yeah. So do you.
The biggest beard in the room.
What's that?
Yeah, I mean, my beard's longer than Travis's.
Yeah, it's a big beard.
Just wanted to include Travis.
Yeah, I'm doing a rom-com.
What's the rom-com?
Hey, look, she has pancreatic cancer, and I love her. Yeah.
It's poorly timed.
Way off the rails.
Yeah, we work together.
Oh, you and the woman with pancreatic cancer?
She's got an office job.
Right, what do you have?
I'm an executive director.
Oh, wow. But you guys...
She's got a boyfriend. I'm getting a divorce.
And somehow you guys come together?
Yeah.
She leaves her boyfriend for you?
Yeah, I'm on the phone, and she walks in, and I go, "Don't interrupt me, cunt!" And then everything goes... Yeah.
It sounds like a tough rom-com. It sounds like a tough nut to crack. CBS it would appear that they're, at least for the short term, they are turning their entire news division into the R. Kelly division. They have...
At least they're not milking it.
They have struck gold, and they realize we're going to go with it. Do you have the clip that I just sent you, Travis?
I just sent it to Troy.
It's worthwhile? It's what I think it is?
Yes.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be edited. You can just play the
great.
The
well,
Twitter link.
Let's go to that first, because, of course, this is how you know when you're a news organization that you've struck gold. Every other news organization is covering what CBS is doing. And they covered it yesterday on The Five. Jesse Waters was covering what Gayle King was doing with R. Kelly. And here's what Jesse Waters had to say on The Five.
Taking no responsibility for himself. I agree, hats off to Gayle King for totally redeeming herself after the Smollett fiasco.
Jedediah,
That was not Gayle King.
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, no, that was Robert.
Yeah.
There's two black women on the news, and he got him confused.
Oh, no, I thought that she did an interview I didn't see.
She didn't. Robin Roberts got the Jesse Smollett interview and Gayle King. They don't even look alike.
No.
They don't even look alike.
I love that Gutfeld is there.
Gutfeld does a good job on that show.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Jesse Waters does a good job of just being that sort of prick, you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's just something so unlikable about him in the sense that I think that they're supposed to be like he's supposed to get people upset. But I don't think that he's supposed to, there's two big time black woman news anchors.
Sure.
Probably
One in the morning. They're both in the morning.
They're both in the morning, but they're on different channels.
Sure.
Robin Roberts is GMA, and Gayle King is CBS News. And honestly, Gayle King is making Robin Roberts look like a schmuck because she did R. Kelly so well, and Robin Roberts was so horrible with Jesse Smollett. Of course, 2020 is hindsight.
Yeah, she fucked up.
But she fucked up.
I do like her though.
Robin Roberts?
Yeah.
I do too. But of course,
Gayle King was great.
Gayle King was incredible. So incredible, as a matter of fact, that Jesse Waters just figured they're all the same.
Yeah. He got very upset, R. Kelly.
Oh my God, did he?
Those are meltdowns he's had at home.
Many times.
That's a home meltdown.
Many times. So, I believe that part 2 of the R. Kelly interview is actually airing right now. We got Rob going through it as we speak.
Oh, that's only part 1. That's right. We didn't hear the whole thing.
Yeah, clips are already coming in from the second part of the R. Kelly interview that is airing right now on CBS News. And when I say they've turned it into the R. Kelly channel, they announced yesterday, and this was not part of the original plan. They announced yesterday. The original plan was Tuesday afternoon, we interview R. Kelly. Tuesday night, we give you a teaser clip. Wednesday, we air a little bit. Thursday, we air a little bit. Dunsky, go home. They have now added a Friday night special. I think it's a 1 hour special, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point if they added a second hour to it, where they're going to do just a full, here's the R. Kelly conversation.
Yeah, they're really, really making this a prime time event.
Oh, yes. And it's all very good news for Gayle King.
Yeah.
Because she comes across looking like $1 million in this whole thing. They also interviewed R. Kelly's girlfriends.
That's right.
On this thing.
And they're backing him.
They are, very much so. Do you have, before we get to R. Kelly stuff today, the R. Kelly girls clip?
He's getting girlfriend stuff right now.
Okay, let's play the preview then in the meantime. Kelly girls up there, Troy.
There we go.
Yeah, go for it.
You know what, dude?
Why would they want to lie?
Yeah, go ahead. This is Gayle King, and she's talking to R. Kelly's two girlfriends.
Yep.
Which, if you're trying to put out there, I understand that relationships don't have any strict definitions, and we have to be a little bit more open-minded about things. But if you're trying to get out there, I don't have a harem. I'm an honest man. Right. I just am with women that want to be with me, blah, blah, blah. Maybe just have one girlfriend do the interview. Maybe not do an interview, because I would say for most of America still, the idea of a man having multiple girlfriends at the same time is a head scratcher.
These two women, I do believe they're there because they want to be there. I mean, they've said to their families multiple times, no, I want to be here. The police have checked on them, and they don't leave because the police are like, they want to be there.
A lot of girls that said, that came out of there and said, oh my God, thank you for saving me, at the time, said that they wanted to be there too. You never know when you've got a Stockholm Syndrome case.
That's true.
Or you got people who actually want to be there.
Stockholm syndrome is terrible, but I don't think the police can come in and rescue you from it unless there's a crime being committed.
That's exactly right. If you're saying you're fine, what can you do?
Yeah,
it doesn't make R. Kelly a good person.
No.
But legally, if you're sitting there going, I'm here because I want to be here.
They're adults.
Yeah, they can't. The police can't sit there and go, R. Kelly's messing with your mind.
No, your family's right. You should leave.
Yeah. Well, they said that they wanted to leave, and their mind was telling them no, they shouldn't be here, but their body was telling them yes. Bump and grind.
Ah.
Yeah. All right, here's the R. Kelly's girlfriends.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18.
Oh boy.
My parents told me to lie about my age to him. Okay? When I met him, they even lied to the police. They told the police that I was 18. They told R. Kelly that I was 18. So here's this man thinking that I am 18.
Everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money, and they're scamming.
You're saying the same as saying.
Well, both of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, with the music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
That could be true too. R. Kelly, one of his defenses is saying that some of these girls were sold to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's fair. You talk to the person and he's saying, "Look, I bought these girls fair and square."
Yeah, the family sold them to me.
Yeah, I paid for these people fair and square.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, talk to the person who sold them.
Yeah, talk to the seller.
Yeah, and I think that's a good.
Absolutely. My eBay rating is very good.
It makes sense. He didn't, he wasn't being a prick as far as negotiations go.
Right.
He paid what the price of these people, human beings, were.
Absolutely.
And now he gets to have them.
Sure.
I think that's, called a Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
If that's the issue. I guess.
Girlfriend clip.
Okay, another girlfriend clip. This is great. This is from CBS This Morning?
Yeah, Rob just sent it over. Travis.
Great.
Only on CBS This Morning, the two women claim their parents have ulterior motives.
When I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what she's saying.
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money.
I mean, they're not being forced to say it, but
Mars almost fell over himself on the way out of here because he was celebrating that he got the Travis Cam working. But the Travis Cam is working.
Jesus, I'm trying to be incognito, walk in and out.
You see him almost fall over himself?
Yeah. That's real stealth mode as he clumsily trips through the room.
Yeah, that's pretty scummy if true.
Yeah.
Do you think that,
I don't know. I mean, the families are being pretty vocal about, they're not being quiet. Like if the families were doing that, would they be as vocal about getting their daughter back and saying on the news, hey, she's being kept against her will?
Yeah, if that were true, you would think that they'd be at least a little bit worried that there was some kind of evidence of these conversations happening, especially if the daughters wanted to stay. Do you want to get into this R. Kelly thing now, or do you want to take a break?
We can take a break because we have a lot of live reads, and we also have. What time is Andrew Schulz? Is he shortly?
He's coming up right now. So if you want, let's take a break.
Yeah, we'll kiss a little bit, hang out.
I'm not going to kiss because we have so many live reads.
I meant me and Troy and Travis.
Okay, I'll do the live reads while you kiss the staff.
We do 3-way men kisses. Ooh. Don't worry, you're not included. You're a boy. You're a boy.
It's just for the men.
Yeah.
Just Travis, Troy, and you.
No, and you, beers.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's going to
4-way.
No, I'm not doing it. It's just 3-way. It's not 4-way. I don't want to.
Come on.
No.
Weirdo.
How gross would it be if all four of us just put our tongues in and we're tickling each other?
What the hell are you talking about, man? The hell are you talking about?
How awful would that be?
Why bring it up?
I just thought how terrible it would be.
I never even thought of anything like that.
Rob, comment?
That'd be hot.
You would want to do that? Just to watch.
Yeah, I'd watch.
Because you don't have a beard.
Yeah.
Jim likes to have beards pressed against him.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No. I don't like facial hair.
That's That's a guy who is done with the jokes because he's like, I've tried it and I don't like it.
I don't care for it.
Yeah.
It feels molesterish.
You don't like a 5 o'clock shadow.
No, I don't.
You know what? Yeah, and you would be an expert on that feeling too.
No.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Come
No,
on.
I don't know.
I don't
They
know.
were my age or a little older.
Oh.
So should I do this read or should we do it?
Yeah, we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
Andrew Schulz will be here. We're going to see what R. Kelly was talking about with Gayle King today. It's going to be a fabulous show. Stay right there.
He was on his way home from Canada.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Gone and he thought he'd
Little Vicki Lawrence.
Oh, it's important.
have him a drink.
It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts on a Thursday. It's good stuff. Andrew Schulz is coming in to contribute some views from the cis. It's very, very important. Jim and I...
Enjoying some Vicki Lawrence.
Jim and I are very, very woke, so we need to bring in a cis white male sometimes to just kind of ground us, you know?
I hear you, man.
I think it's important.
Necessary part of the ecosystem.
I think so, too.
Very necessary. Hi, everybody.
I think so, too. What's going on, man?
Life is good, man. I'm just adjusting. How are you guys?
Everything's good.
Yeah. Do you
Andrew
always
Schulz.
have the tallest chair?
I like to rest my leg here. You can just raise it up if you want.
No.
this
I
is
like your dominant position over me.
It's just comfortable.
None of the
Yeah.
chairs, all the chairs have actually been modified, so none of them raise quite as high as Jim's.
I love that sweatshirt, by the way.
Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. What's up with you guys, man? What's going on? What y'all talking about?
I mean, big things right now. First of all, Andrew Schultz's YouTube channel is the place to be because views from the cis.
That's right.
This is coming out. This is the new special that everybody's been talking about, and it's coming out in chapters.
Yes.
Every
Really smart.
Sunday,
Thanks, man.
a new part of Views from the Cis gets dropped for free, by the way, on the house.
Yes, on the house, baby.
At YouTube/Andrew Schulz. Chapters 1 and 2 are already up there.
The
Andrew Schulz.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/The Andrew Schulz. Chapters 1 and 2 are already up there. Chapter 3 will be up on Sunday. And some of them are bite-sized, man. If you're like, I like Andrew Schulz on the radio. I don't know about this comedy thing, though. Go, and it's like 2.5 minutes. Give it to him, and then
They're
you'll be
usually
hooked.
between 6 and 8 minutes every bit. The intro is about 2 minutes, and that just kind of like sets the tone for it. But last Sunday's bit, which I think is a fun one, it's just about why Trump was 100% right about grabbing pussy, and that's on Sunday. That happens Sunday, so this next one is going to be good too. We'll see what happens. But the response has been cool, man.
And is there a way at the end to watch it all together as a special?
So what happens is it's going to operate like a playlist. Right? So after they're all up eventually, you'll just watch one, then we'll flow right into the next one. We'll flow right into the next one. We'll flow right into the next one.
Smart.
Yeah, so it'll be a cool little thing. And they each take place in a different country. So like there's a little travel montage at the end that takes you into the next city, and then it stops right when I walk on stage, and then Sunday. So you can watch it all the way through. There might be like a little couple second video at the end that says like subscribe, but you could just click right past that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, man.
what's
Smart.
great is
Thanks, man.
if 100,000 people watch each part of the special,
right,
and there's 10 parts, 1 million people just watch the special.
Boom, there it is. And
There
it's
it
cool
is.
when you break it up. I was realizing because, like if you get 100,000 views on YouTube, right, and then I put the clips also on Instagram, and those get maybe a couple 100,000, then Twitter, and then all these different places. So you're really like aggregating. All I care about is eyeballs. Like,
right,
the special is just an advertisement to see me live.
That's right.
Right? So it's like, wouldn't you want your advertisement to be on a building everybody could see?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why Times Square got a lot of billboards, and the Bronx doesn't.
It's very, very good advertising. Eyeballs.
So,
That's where eyeballs
all
are.
it is, man. Yeah, I think the game got switched when everybody was getting like $20 million specials.
Right.
I think we started getting like, oh, well, that's what you do. You save your material and get paid $20 million. But it's like, that's not everybody.
Right.
Right.
That $20 million is to convince us to do specials.
Right. Right.
That money wasn't even, it's like paid to them, but it's really paid to the public to go, oh, you have a Netflix special. It used to be you got an HBO special.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we were growing up? Now nobody says that.
No.
That's the marketing cost of the 20 mil. Right?
That's right.
So-
It's a Netflix special, yeah. But even Netflix specials now, there's been so many of them. I mean, but they have a lot of, they have every country to kind of.
yeah. Oh, no, but
appease.
Netflix is dead.
Yeah.
Netflix is dead.
You think?
Yeah.
They're
They're
there's a
trying to
new
get
special every week. It's like, it's too much.
Oh, well, stand up, they just can't get people to watch it anymore. I mean, that's why I started doing in the first place the thing 15 minutes, because you can learn everything you want about stand up from asking people who aren't stand ups. Ask any stand up what special they've been watching. They'll say the same thing. Oh, I watched this guy who was so funny. I was like, oh, yeah, what'd you like about it? He goes, I don't know. It was just really good. I mean, I didn't finish it. Everybody says I didn't finish it. That's why they kept going shorter.
Right.
Right? So it's like, for me, the way I look at like stand-up, I look at like music almost, you know? So I divided the album, essentially, the comedy special, up into tracks. And there's a reason why you put out a single.
You should put out the single.
You got it.
Yeah.
Every, like, whether we admit it or not, every one of our specials, every one that you've put up has singles. And people go to you, yo, I love this joke.
We were just looking at Jim's Spotify the other day and seeing that there's one track on one album that has this tremendous amount of views. All the tracks are doing well.
They're okay,
but there's one track that has millions and millions of listens on it.
Now imagine that one track, right, was isolated in a place where people could access it by itself.
Video and audio.
Video and audio, right? That is your entryway to Jim Norton for the casual fan.
See?
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit. It's like, what was that guy's name? Burt Kreischer?
That's his name, Burt Kreischer. He's the machine.
The machine, right? Like that one bit was the entryway to him. So, I mean, these people that do music are stupid, right? They're way smarter at marketing than like comedians, you know? So it's like, for me, I just look at myself like SoundCloud comic, you know?
You're a SoundCloud
I'm a
comic.
SoundCloud comic,
You gotta start
bro.
getting your face tattooed.
But he makes
Andrew's
right, though, and it makes you want to do something because I have enough material for a special. I want to shoot a special this year. I'm
Talk to
absolutely
me
going to
about
shoot one. I definitely have enough material. I've been working on making it even like it was topical last year. I'm changing a couple of details that have switched, and it feels fresh again.
I'm saying, let's talk about how you're going to do the next one.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I mean, I have an offer in one place, but I don't know if I want to do it because it's a network.
Why don't you just do it for us guys in the room?
That's what I was kind of thinking.
That could be fun.
Jim, why don't you do what Will Smith did? You know what I mean?
Do a sitcom with Jazzy Jeff. That's perfect. NBC.
Like, Will Smith is so genius. Like, he noticed like the way that fame shifted. You know, iRobot. He goes like, you know, instead of making the movies, he's like, I'm going to go into YouTube. I'm going to go into Instagram. I'm going to go into Twitter. Like, fame is about, you know, proximity, not distance anymore. You can't, you know, be away. Like, think about the actors that are still doing the distance thing are fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Like Johnny Depp is a weirdo now.
Yeah,
he was cool and mysterious.
Yeah. Although,
now
you know,
kids are like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
You know the guys that I admire?
Yeah.
I like not you, Jim. You weren't going to be the name.
It's embarrassing.
I'm sorry to say. Yeah, I'm sorry to.
All right.
Because you made the noise. And
I was just like, come on.
Yeah, no, it's
I
not.
don't need to say that.
I wasn't going to.
Oh.
So I'm glad I don't need to. I like the guys like George Clooney, that they maintain their distance because they figure out a way to make some money outside of show business. They get a nice little tequila line, and they're like, fuck all your social media, fuck all your movies.
Yeah.
I've made money in movies. I put that into tequila. Now I'm just going to sit back. I'm not going to be bothered, and I'm going to make my money that way. If you can figure that out, that's the dream.
That's the podcast game.
Yeah.
That's why the LA comedy scene is fucking excellent now. Because all the comics got empowered.
By podcast.
They got their own podcasts, right? And they
So
started
their own
making
audiences.
their own money. They got their own audiences. And then they stopped doing comedy for the industry, which is the watered down version of it.
Right.
Right? So then once you have comics wanting to impress each other, like why is this show and the different iterations of this show throughout the years been excellent?
Because of Jim.
Because you have comics coming here that want to impress Jim. I want to impress Jim. Everybody wants to come here, wants to, at least comedically,
I've never
wants to
felt that
impress
way.
you, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I never got that impression either. I figured that they were just trying to squeeze me out.
That's your insecurity. Why is he doing so well?
That guy's funny. I hate him.
Yeah. Here's what you guys didn't realize. The best way to impress Jim is just to sit here like a bump on a log. Just be a dud, and he'll love you.
I'll love you.
Anyway, it's just like that's what for me breeds a great comedy scene. It's like when you're really pushing each other to get better, you know, and really trying to impress other comics, you know, because we have the highest litmus test for comedy. The litmus test for, like, you know, I think the average network is pretty. Hey, as long as you don't ruffle too many feathers, everything should be fine. Then put it out, you know. It's, I think that's where the best comedy comes from.
You know, you brought up music and musicians, and I don't know if you've heard, but some people are saying that R. Kelly might have had sex with underage women. Did you hear about this?
I have not heard that.
Yes, some people are saying it could
Allegedly,
be true.
bro.
Allegedly.
This is alleged.
This is
That was
very
a rumor
alleged.
years ago. I heard back in like 2004, maybe.
It is starting to rise to the surface again,
Really?
slightly. Yeah.
No, I haven't
By the
ever-
way, they want. We didn't mention this before the break.
Yeah.
The proverbial they.
The powers that be.
The powers that be desperately want R. Kelly in jail. You see, he's back in jail now because
Back in jail.
child support, $161,000 in child support.
And they know if he had to spend 3 days in jail because he couldn't come up with $100,000 for bail. Where the fuck is he going to come up with another $160,000 for child support?
You know what they're doing?
They know they
was
got
a
him.
funny thing in the interview where he goes, he's just going on his rant. He goes, this is horrible what they're doing to me. They try to take me from my kids. Yeah. Now, he was trying to say his actual children. But for a pedophile, the line, they try to take me from my kids. It's fucking hysterical.
Poor choice of words.
Yeah.
Not the statement you want to put out there. He was back on the news this morning, because as we said before the break, CBS is really is milking this thing. CBS is doing what you're doing with Views from the Sis.
Yes.
They're like, we got all this content.
Yes.
What are we doing dropping it all in one lump sum? Let's drop a little today, a little tomorrow. Keep them tuned in.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. And I've heard, again, we have Handsome Rob has been on top of this. He's been fantastic. Because we don't want to wait till the next day to cover this. We want to cover it day of.
Right.
So we're hearing these clips for the first time, but we already have them. This is the stuff that aired this morning.
Okay.
On CBS this morning.
Okay.
R. Kelly and Gayle King, part 2 of their interview. R. Kelly talks about his money. Of course, this is after what we saw yesterday when R. Kelly starts standing up, spazzing out, looking directly at the camera, shouting about being taken away from his children. I believe when we last left R. Kelly, he had accused the world of trying to bury him alive, but I'm still alive.
Yeah, he whispered a lot. He reminded me, the way he acted during that interview, he acted like Scatman Crothers in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I know it's a very creepy, weird reference when all the fucking mental patients are in his office. No? Okay.
Well, I would say Cuckoo's Nest is a little bit more appropriate to reference than most of what you usually do, so I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Do you remember the scene?
I don't specifically, but
someday.
Cuckoo's Nest is a fabulous film.
It sure is.
Fabulous.
Tragic ending.
I only watched the first part.
Oh, yeah. First 15 minutes.
It was a 2 cassette. It was like,
yeah, I didn't flip the tape. All right, let's go to
now.
R. Kelly talking about his money with Gayle King.
Your income. It was reported that your income was very high. Hundreds of millions of dollars. We'll say that because I don't want to get hung up on the
that's
semantics.
one room I wish that was true.
And yet, when you were in jail last week, the bond was $100,000, and they said R. Kelly couldn't even afford to get himself out of jail, that a friend had to come and bail you out of jail. What is your financial situation, if you don't mind saying?
Here's the deal. So many people have been stealing my money. People was connected to my account. I went by myself for the first time to Bank of America. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what the hell was going on.
When did you do that? First time by yourself?
About 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Okay, come on. Like these artists just sit there going like, I can't believe everybody's stealing from me. You went to the bank for the first time 3 weeks ago. You're in your 40s. What are you doing?
I've never taken a person to the bank. You want to go to the bank? No. Who the fuck wants to go to the bank with you?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And how long ago was that? 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's why they're stealing your money.
Yeah.
Musicians get ripped off all the time.
all the fucking time. Musicians, boxers.
Yeah,
but that's called.
right.
It's called being an easy mark. If you're going to sit there and not look at your money and not know how the bank works in your 40s when you're a millionaire,
yeah, you got to take that L. There's a. Did you guys watch the Surviving R. Kelly documentary?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you notice that all his music was playing in it?
Yeah,
that's right.
You want to know why that is? Because this fucking idiot doesn't own his masters.
None of them?
No, that's why the doc slapped, because they weren't playing the B-sides.
Right,
they
were playing all hits.
The hot shit,
yeah,
because he doesn't own any of it. So these idiots that are like mute R. Kelly, you know that hashtag?
Yeah.
Play him.
He's not making any money
nothing.
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
So that's why he's so broke. It's like a lot of these guys that own, like with Michael, he owns.
Of course he did.
I think he owns half of all Sony or something crazy.
He
like
owns
that.
the Beatles catalog.
He owns the Beatles catalog, and I think even more. So it's
Didn't
like,
McCartney get it back?
Yeah, not anymore.
Now, yeah. Well, Michael doesn't own. To be fair, Michael doesn't own anything
Right,
anymore.
that's true. He's dead.
He's dead.
That is true.
Yes.
Good point. Good
He's
point.
dead as a doornail.
Just one pair of tiny underpants in his hand.
Bury me with Applehead's underwear.
With safe coat. Jimmy's safe coats undies.
Yeah, the coroner just couldn't pry these out of his hand. So
Yeah. Rigor mortis set in while he was clutching.
what time is? You can bring Paul Virzi whenever he comes.
Sure, yeah. Paul Virzi's welcome to join us.
But yeah, so Kelly is just
you would think
so
that
incompetent with this shit, man.
R. Kelly is, it's not even like he's one of these pop stars. The pop stars that sit there and kind of have their songs written for him that are just a creation.
Yeah.
Somebody else is writing the song, somebody else is making the music, and
Yeah.
you're just plugged in, sing how we tell you to sing. When they end up with nothing, you kind of go, well, yeah, I mean, they weren't really your masters to begin with. You're just a piece of the puzzle. Right. But R. Kelly is a musician and a songwriter. These are his creations. Other musicians go to R. Kelly and say, teach me how to write a hit. For R. Kelly to not own his own masters is crazy.
Yeah, maybe it's hard for us to like accept somebody could be so elite at one thing and that not trickle down to anything else.
Well, you know what?
Like an athlete that's so good at basketball and we're like, wait a minute, you don't know how to do finances at all. You only know basketball?
He's like, look, I can't even walk and chew gum at the same time.
That's it.
You have to make sure you're in charge of your own money. I'm fucking so careful. I sign every check. No one signs checks but me.
I'm R. Kelly. I have no clue what's going on.
You don't know.
I have a business manager named Carlos. He's not even a Jewish dude. Right?
Who signs your checks?
Probably Carlos.
Does he have power of attorney?
I'm sure they probably all do.
I've given no one power of attorney.
You're not even 100% sure on
I'm
that.
not even, honestly,
I would call Carlos after the show and discuss power of attorney.
Bro, one time I called and I got this number is no longer in service, and I was like, oh, they got me. Like, I'm waiting for them to get me. I think they're waiting for me to make enough money to get them.
Do you check your accounts?
Yeah, so I'm like financially illiterate, so I make them send me a financially illiterate statement, right? I go, just tell me how much in the beginning of the month and the end. And they're like, yeah, but there's expenses. I go, no. How much at the end of last month and this one? And then I calculate and I just ask questions like, well, why is it less than this one? Well, we didn't deposit yet. Okay, keep it up.
I'm watching you. I'm keeping you honest.
Yeah, I get automatic deposits. I get deposits sent from the radio job.
Sure.
And certain gigs will send a deposit, but that type of stuff goes to the agents. But most checks, any checks written to the government, to anybody else, I have to sign.
If it comes... So you go to their office to sign it?
They send me a FedEx with all my bills, and I sign the checks, and I have a record of everything I sign. Hey, buddy.
So you don't have to go to Carlos's house?
No, but I make sure I do that because they're not, if there's anything weird, I'll ask them.
Maybe that's smart. I guess there's part of me that's trying to, what up, Virzi? That's trying to just like isolate. I get the whole reason I did it was like, how do I have more time to just create? Like I feel so spread thin with shit.
Let me tell you, accountants will they're really good at freeing up your time if you let them. No problem.
Wait,
you don't want to pay attention to your money? We got it, Schulz. No problem. Keep creating.
They'll pay your bills.
I need some money to create. Yeah. Sorry, bud. None left. I watched it all go away.
Yeah, I keep my eye on everything.
Now you guys got me freaked out.
Just check it. I would get don't get power of attorney to anybody. Do you sign your own checks and all that stuff?
Paul Virzi's here, by the way. Paul Virzi, who his first TV special just came out. It's called Bill Burr Presents Paul Virzi, I'll Say This, and it's available to stream on Comedy Central's website. That's amazing.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me too, guys. Good to see you.
Yeah. Now, you got Comedy Central money coming in. You got Bill Burr Presents money coming in. Are you watching this money, or are you Andrew Schulzing it up and going, you know what? I'm sure Carlos has it taken care of.
Yeah. No, I got a wife and 2 kids, so she takes, I need a wife. Yeah. And plus, she'll do it better than I'll do it.
I very recently put my wife in charge of the finances.
Yeah, you have to.
To the point where now Jess will go like, hey, Sam, like, what do you want to do do you want to move this money to a different account so we can take care of this bill? I go, Jess. This is on you, okay?
Just do it.
I need you to take ownership of this thing. That's the one person I'm supposed to be able to trust, right? I married this person, had a child by this person.
Yeah.
Like, you can take care of the finances. It's certainly better than Carlos, I think.
You never know.
You don't know.
Because Carlos isn't buying bags.
You're right.
When I got
the first, what your wife is buying.
You're right. You don't know. You're not responsible for Carlos's hobbies.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No,
and Carlos, exactly. That's it. I don't know what his hobbies are. I just, as long as I look through the statement, I don't see any kind of hobbies there.
When Carlos rolls up with some new shoes on, for example,
we don't do new shoes. Carlos is a simple guy.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're into the fancy stuff, we can't. He
likes simple clothes and the Bahamas.
The simple. Now you got me freaked out, Jim.
Yeah, he likes very simple clothes and Swiss bank accounts, and that's it.
Guys, I don't feel very good. I don't feel as confident when I walked in here.
You know who else likes very simple clothes? Freeway Ricky Ross.
Yeah.
You know who's making millions of dollars on the side?
That's right.
Freeway Ricky Ross.
Is he still making millions now?
Right now, no. But at a time, he was doing quite well financially.
Right.
His business was lucrative.
So wait, you don't sign your own bills? You don't pay your bills?
No, they do everything.
Smart.
The way it operates is they get a percentage of the income. So it's in their best
Right now, it's
interest that
roughly 100.
Listen, everybody that like understands money thinks this is stupid, right?
Yes.
But the way that I'm viewing it is like as I like scale up the business, right? There's people that I'm paying, right? Like so, there are other podcast guys that I'm doing work on.
Sure,
I'm paying
course.
them out. Like, you know, we're starting an ad agency for podcasts, and I want to be able to pay the employees of that. And so I can't personally sign all those checks, right? And do this. I have to have some sort of structure built. At a certain point in time, you're going to need to trust people. And it's like what Ricky Ross said. He's like, look, people are going to steal as long as they don't steal a lot.
Yeah.
You can sign all the checks. There's not that many checks to sign. And
Well,
also,
if you're employing people, he
oh,
said.
right. You could have one account that deals with that, like that they have power of attorney
That's
in
what
one
you do.
account.
You actually are supposed to have a business account that isn't also your whole account.
Right.
You don't
I
pay
have
your
more
electric
than one
bill.
account.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm
put
not-
Carlos in charge of the business account.
Yeah.
And maybe you go, Carlos, I'll
Guys.
take care of the personal account. I can't be R. Kelly walking into a Bank of America for the first time at 48
Isn't
years
that crazy?
old. We just found out before you walked in, we were playing the clips of R. Kelly on CBS News just from this morning. And Gayle King was asking him about his financial situation, the fact he couldn't afford to get himself out of jail. His friend had to bail him out. And he said he found out everybody's been stealing from him. And he found that out because 3 weeks ago, he went into the bank for the first time
By himself.
in his life.
By himself.
Bro, he can't read, right? Like this
He
guy's
can't read.
illiterate?
No, he's illiterate.
Oh, I didn't know he was illiterate.
He is.
he's
He
illiterate.
can't read.
R. Kelly's illiterate still?
They talked about that in the doc. Yeah, he can't read.
There's a I mean, my buddy, shouts to Cypher Sounds. Cypher pointed this out to me. He's like, yeah, he's broke. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How do you know he's broke? He goes, that's why the stories are coming out. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, listen, when somebody like that's famous touched you, you don't go to the cops first. Right? You go to the famous person first.
Yeah,
and
you got that
get
money. Yeah.
Boom.
You got to get that money. Yeah.
So he was giving 20 grand out to everybody, right? And he ran out of 20 grand. And now all of a sudden it's like, well, R. Kelly imprisoned me in this place. So
Right.
that's
That makes
anytime
sense.
these stories start to come
And
out,
there's something
you lose the
mentally
money.
wrong with him. Like when she was talking to him, he can't comprehend. Like there's some real issues with this guy mentally.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The first video I saw told me that back in 2004. The urine video. I was like, that's not healthy.
Yeah. I like that Paul is like, I'm starting to think that I watched him on CBS News, and I don't think he's quite all there.
His reading comprehension is not good.
Pissing on a 13-year-old is like, well, yeah,
Something's
he's a musician.
wrong with this guy.
It's crazy how many people saw that video because
The
it's
piss video?
child porn.
Yeah, you're not supposed to even see it.
Why would we admit it?
It went around everywhere. It was everywhere.
Everywhere,
It was
but, like-
online everywhere. It wasn't hard to find.
I remember there was the video of the guy getting fucked by the horse.
Sure,
I think
Mr.
you had
Hands.
you had a funny bit about it.
Thank
too,
you,
right?
yes.
See, single, huh?
Thank you.
Right. So it's like, but
I
that
thought you
guy
meant
was
that's why
an
Jim
adult.
is single.
No. He was old enough to get fucked.
Kenneth Pinion, his name was.
He was the Boeing
A
engineer.
Boeing
right?
engineer, yeah.
But he was old enough to get fucked. But wait, this
Old enough to get fucked.
he was right.
He was.
It was.
Yeah, grown man.
It was a grown man,
Sure, he
right?
was.
Like
He was
he chose to do it. You know what I mean?
Married, yeah.
He was married.
He's a good
Married.
man. He's
Yeah,
a good.
married.
He's an honest man.
Yeah.
He was married.
Yeah,
He's a good, honest, married
Someone had
man.
to tell his wife. I got bad news and horrible news.
Yeah. What do you want to hear first? Look, your husband was fucked by a horse.
Yeah, he didn't make
Unfortunately,
it.
he was fucked. He didn't.
He was fucked to death by a horse.
Yeah. What's worse, getting fucked to death, or the fact that it was by a horse?
I'd say the latter.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure
I'd say
where
the
to
latter.
say.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's God.
Yeah. I have bad news. Your husband was fucked by a horse. On the bright side, he's dead.
Sam, do you have two accounts or you share an account with your wife, like with the bank? You have like your own checking?
No, I have my own, and then we also have a shared. And then there's also a business account.
Why you got your own?
I have my own so that, like, if I'm buying sneakers or wrestling shit or whatever. I mean, it's like an account that, like, hundreds of dollars goes in and out of, not real, like,
My wife wants to do the joint, and I still can't. I'm married 11 years. And part of me, I'm married 11 years, and part of me is like, can I just have my checking? Like, you just.
Did you have a prenup? No, it's not. You might as well, dude. She's getting half the joint.
I know.
Married and kids.
She's taking that
But it's
account
like
anyway.
Sam said, if I want to get like $500 Jordans, and like maybe she won't.
You got to
see
have
it.
a little. So here's how I
autonomy, man.
Yeah, I know.
You need to have a system set up where, especially if she's in charge of the money, you're like, okay, you're in charge of the money, but I need to just have this much money every month.
Yeah.
And that's just, you just don't, it's just mine.
Yeah.
And you're not to ask questions about that. And if I come in with some Jordans or whatever I come in with,
right?
Like that's my account is still my account. Maybe you're only putting $500 a month at whatever you decide. You're the financial lady, but whatever you put in there, you have no jurisdiction over that.
Yeah,
that's mine.
But Sam,
yeah.
Why do you need $500 for?
No, you're doing it. No.
Why you need $500? What would you even spend $500?
Well, look. No.
You spend all that $500?
Yeah, see?
That's the conversation. It's like, don't even put that Inception shit in our head. You know, like that's going to make more curiosity.
How's he going to get to his Jordans?
Never connect the bank accounts, B.
Here's what you got to do.
Give her something to hope for years. Maybe when you're like 80. Be like, all right, fine, babe, let's connect them.
I'm bad with money. Like, and all my friends joke, I'm bad.
Okay.
Like, I got my first little check and she was like, you're bad, you're going to do something stupid. And I was like, no. And then I found myself in a quad store and I was like, should we get a four-wheeler? And she's like, no, you're never going to, no, we shouldn't. I'm like, that's $4,000 though. It'll be fun. And she's like, no.
I figured it out, Paul.
She vetoed the quad.
She vetoed the quad. Yeah. She's like, you're going to fall off and break your neck.
Yeah, and become one.
2 kids. Become one. Oh my God.
I figured it out. I got a buddy. He's a teacher. He's just living normal married guy life. He's a teacher with a wife and a kid and everything.
Yeah.
Expenses, household, everything shared, obviously, as things are. But he sells shit on eBay. The money goes into his PayPal. He doesn't tell his wife about the PayPal account. And so PayPal becomes his. So when he needs to go and buy his Jordans, buy his wrestling shit, whatever he needs to buy.
Got a private PayPal.
He's got the PayPal.
Yeah.
And then he kind of tries to keep the mailing away. Or, if he sells something on eBay, he'll go, this went for $50. It went for $150.
But he spent the other $100.
She doesn't need to know the $100 stays in PayPal.
His little treats.
I'm
going to start doing eBay.
Treats.
I have a lot of old baseball cards. I'm going to start eBaying them.
You have... Who's checking? For you, who's checking your finances? You don't need a separate PayPal account, or you just want to do eBay.
Just anything of eBay.
What do you got? What kind of baseball cards you got?
They're probably worthless.
Yeah,
most of them. I have a few good ones. Most of them are shit.
Do any of you guys gamble on sports? Because that's my private secret. Well, not.
You like to do that too?
Like, she knows I like a little action on a game, but like nothing much. Like, it'd be like 150.
Yeah.
But then she'd be like, "Did you bet?" And sometimes she's probably listening to this, but sometimes I'll be like, "Nah, not really." But if I go, "Nah," that means like 75.
But you
She's like, then why are you going nuts over Milwaukee and Sacramento? I'm just sitting there caring. But I like a little bit of it, and she gets, that's her thing. Like, no, like, we got kids. Like, I don't care if you want Jordans and you saved and you got to get that, get that.
And you saved.
Yeah, like, if there's
like you're 14, right?
Yeah. You tucked a little something away every week.
Yeah. She's cool with that. But if she's like, if you lost money on the Falcons, it's just like, it's hard to justify.
It's a waste.
That. It's hard. It's a waste.
Gambling's scary. I saw the John Jones fought Anthony Smith. The odds were like 8-1 or 9-1, and like if you bet 100, you win 650. And I was tempted to bet 1,000. I'm like on a long shot, but then I'm like, no. It's even. No, I did not, because it's even. First of all, I would have lost, but second of all, it's even worse if you win, because then you take 1,000, you were at 7,000. Then it's like, I get how you get hooked on that.
Yeah.
That's what scares me.
Does it fuck up the game that you don't gamble on?
What, like, I mean, like,
can you watch like a regular game?
And that's a good question. No, because like when there's juice on it, man, like,
it's like taking a condom off.
Even if you win $300, which in the grand scheme it's only $300, but when you win it, it's just money, when you just get that, and you're like, and then you get delusional. You're like, I'm a genius. Like, fuck these guys on ESPN. I know. I could tell the way they came out, their attitude. I've actually did that. Me and Bill Burr were at a football game on the road a couple years ago, and we were like, we went to see the Red River Rivalry. It's Oklahoma and Texas, right? And we bet on Texas because we were there. So we're like, we'll be with the people. And Texas came out, and they were like, jumping up and down and pointing, and we're like, oh, they look all right. And then Oklahoma came out, right? And they just looked at Texas and nodded their heads, and we looked at each other and we go, Oklahoma is going to beat the fuck out of this team. And we lost our money, and they did. But now, because of that, I think I can look at a team warm up and go, and call my guy and go, I could just tell the way
Trust your gut.
just the way their sneakers are right now, they're going to win the game. And then I lose money.
Trust your gut, Virzi.
Like you're a man on the inside. Whichever way Virzi's going, that's the way that's the way we're going. Oh no, he just made his bet. Let's all follow.
I actually took the Rams on a Monday Night Football once, and I actually said to my friend, I go, nobody in the country had them, but I did. And they just go, no, there's 2 teams. There's 2 teams, you fucking lunatic. I go, nobody in the country had this. I saw this. And then I won on the Super Bowl. So I took the Patriots and the under and the Patriots straight up. I just had a feel because everybody was saying over, and I won. And you feel like you know,
right? You're a genius.
And it's a flip of the coin.
And for some reason, we forget all the ones we pick wrong. Like all of them, I picked wrong. Like just teams I want to win that don't win.
Yeah, you're 65% off, and you're thinking about it. Yeah. Now, do you gamble?
No,
ever?
No, never. I don't do it. I don't. Again, I don't trust myself. I'm a fucking. I'm too compulsive.
Yeah.
I remember I've told this story. I was in Vegas one time, and I'm walking by this. You know, the stupid wheel, like the wheel, and it's got $1, a $5, a $10, and a $20.
Yeah.
And if you put a bill down and it lands on that bill, you win. So I had $1 and I put it down on 20, and I hit 20 and I won $20. And my first thought was like, "Fuck! I wish I would have put down 20. I would have won 400." And then that immediately understand
how it
it's
works.
never going to be good enough.
Yeah.
You're always just going to. It's like stock. I guess in the stock market a little bit, but
yeah, but that's not gambling.
No,
though.
but I mean
That's
it's the
like-
same type of thing.
totally.
It's gambling.
In a way, it is. Yeah, it's just not. It's not the immediate high or low.
I think day trading is probably really gambling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't lose everything doing that.
No, you're right.
No, it's
that's a pretty safe way to do it.
Not stressful at all.
No, of course not. Remember when Gallagher was in?
I sat there and watched him day trade for an hour.
Gallagher came in and did the radio show once. And after the show, he was like, "You guys mind if I use your office and just open my laptop?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you just crushed water." He literally just crushed watermelons in the studio. And then he goes, he's got no shirt on.
Yep.
He opens up his laptop, and for an hour in the office of this radio station, he's just sitting there day trading. At K-Rock, yeah. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
I just
Gallagher.
sat next to him. I finally got bored. I'm like, I gotta go home. I was just watching Gallagher day trade. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? There's a prostitute to pay.
That's your gambling?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No condoms.
So, we're talking about idiots and how we all feel like geniuses when we win. R. Kelly, unfortunately, does not feel like a genius because he realized that he went to the bank and he has no money because people were stealing from him. Let's go back to the clips. This is from this morning on CBS. Gayle King talking to R. Kelly about his financial situation.
Make America by yourself?
By myself. Because I was so tired of not knowing where my money was, where my publishing is.
Isn't that on you then?
Huh?
Isn't that on you?
A lot of it's on me.
That you didn't know where your money is?
A lot of it's on me.
And people say he doesn't have money because he had to pay so much in settlements. What do you say about that?
Lie.
Lie. That's my favorite response.
Gayle King was fucking great though.
I mean, she's incredible.
She was really ballsy.
And you know that he chose Gayle King because he figured, a lot of black women like R. Kelly. I'm sure that R. Kelly's like, I'll do one interview and I'll do it with Gayle King because he thought Gayle King would go easy. Gayle King is
and
like,
they may have met already over the years.
I bet they did. Gayle King has been in show business for a long, long time. But she's like, you might have forgotten, R. Kelly. I'm actually a legitimate journalist. And I'm going to do an actual interview with you. Also, I'm not infatuated with you because I think you probably had sex with a lot of underage people. So,
how much is he loving the Michael Jackson doc?
He came in and did this interview after the doc like a maniac.
I speculate that he did that because it was like he knew he'd kind of be in the shadow of that giant one, so he could kind of get it out.
But guess what?
It's probably
didn't work.
No, because the Michael Jackson docs suck compared to this, man.
Yeah, it was like just 2 guys, and part 2 was not that great. It was just too much on. There wasn't enough
The Michael Jackson doc was fun for Monday.
Yeah.
There's some meat on this.
Meat
boat.
on this. There's meat. It's a nice shank, man.
Yeah,
the Michael Jackson doc and this really shows you the genius of Oprah because Gayle is an Oprah prodigy,
of course,
and they're owned this last couple weeks.
Oh yeah, they did.
And Oprah's not doing these interviews though. It's so weird.
Oprah's doing the after show for HBO.
Oh yeah, she did. But I mean, she's not getting R. Kelly. She could if she wanted.
If she wanted, but she's like, all right, Gayle, you handle that. Like we're taking all the pedophiles out. Right? We're taking all the pedophiles out this weekend.
By the way, technically, we're kind of the ones that put them on the pedestal that allowed them to be these super pedophiles to begin with.
Wait, they did? I mean,
Michael Jackson was like Oprah's
the first interview. That's
Oprah
right.
loved Michael. Oprah put Michael way up on the pedestal.
Oh, well, he was famous long before Oprah, though. I mean,
right, but I mean, Oprah really pushed it along.
I didn't realize that I didn't realize that she put him up there like that. I had no clue.
She loved Michael Jackson. Like,
Oh yeah,
But
Really?
I mean, Michael was.
not to say Michael wouldn't have been famous without Oprah.
the biggest selling album of all
Yeah.
time was long before she came around. What year did Oprah start her show? It was in the 90s.
I think Oprah started in 1968.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go. That's
so,
right. Yes,
yeah.
no, yeah.
My dad
the
worked
Jackson
in
5.
journal, news business in Baltimore, and that's where Oprah got her start. And this is like way back before it was Oprah. And a buddy of his used to get head from Oprah at the office.
Really?
And
Allegedly.
Allegedly said to my pops, "Bro, this chick's gonna make it." Like it was like that. And for some reason, my dad remembers that story. Like he's got memories that are foggy now. Forgets a lot of shit. Hasn't forgot Oprah's head skills.
Wow,
Incredible.
good for her.
That's incredible. Well, let's go back to the CBS interview. This is when. So remember, I said just before the break that if you're gonna put out your girlfriends to announce that like you're a good guy, you're not this pedophile guy who's keeping women hostage, that just to make America side with you, maybe just bring out one girlfriend. Don't announce, hey, these are my two girlfriends.
Yeah.
Because most of America is already like, what?
Two women saying they're your girlfriends and defending you?
Like on Wednesday, you go, I don't have a harem. That's ridiculous. I do not have a harem. On Thursday, you go, here to defend me are two of my girlfriends. And you're going, okay, I don't know if you know what harem means then. But he talks about, here with Gayle, his relationship with his girlfriends.
What is your relationship with them?
I love them, and it's like they're my girlfriends. It's like, we have a relationship. It's real. And I know guys, I've known guys all my life to have 5 or 6 women, okay? So don't go there on me, okay? Because that's the truth.
The fact that they're much younger than you.
I don't look at much younger than me. I just look at legal. I just look at you're you, I'm me.
Wait, could you pause for a second?
Yeah.
Like, people...
I just look at legal.
Like when you have to go and say, wait, before I start, is she of legal age? When you are just getting in right at the line, there's still some suspicion there. When you have to go, before we do this, I have to make sure it's legal. I would say most people know that this is not illegal.
Yeah,
What's about to happen?
When your dick is out, you're saying, all right, what time of day were you born?
Yeah, you're waiting for midnight to hit.
And I love how I got friends that had 6, so don't go there. Like, it's
But
what?
isn't he right about that on some level? Like, there's dudes that have multiple women their whole life, right?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but they're not on TV trying to justify horrible actions.
Good point.
Right.
That's a good point, Sam.
Right.
Sam, you really got that.
So the fact that R. Kelly might have multiple girlfriends, least of his concerns at this moment.
Yes, it's not a problem.
No, that's not. The issue is that some of the quote unquote girlfriends might have been held against their will, and also were teens.
He's apparently
underage teenagers.
He's a mesmerizing guy. Like when you watch him talk, you're like, I understand why people I said that yesterday, why people enjoy listening to him.
Yeah.
I imagine if you're a woman and you're a fan of his music, and then all of a sudden that guy's captivating. I mean, come on. Especially if you can't read, your whole life has been verbal communication. You're probably not writing anything.
Does he really expect people to believe that he's sitting there going, you know what I find attractive? Women who are legal.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. I don't pay attention to
I don't look at age.
Just
legal.
Legal.
Yeah.
I think,
are you an adult by this state's definition of the law? Well, then you have a shot with me.
Do you remember Chappelle? I just thought this funny story. My grandma. You remember Chappelle did the sketch,
the pee on you
where like
sketch,
the girl was just getting peed on.
Yeah.
My little Greek grandmother walked in and she sees and it was like the girl's just getting peed on and she's going like this, and my grandmother just goes, "Oh, is it raining?"
Yes, it is, Grandma.
So nice.
Yeah, it's so
an innocent Nana question.
I was like, yeah, it's raining.
Yeah, I don't want to have to. It's a lot to explain to you, Nana.
Yeah,
yes,
you don't
it's
want your
raining.
grandmother to
it'd be
recognize
funny
that.
if I was like, no, it's not. Here's what really happened.
Well, you don't want her to walk in and go, "Oh, golden shower." Oh no!
I miss you,
Why do you know that?
Grandma's in a toilet play.
Did you guys see Abducted in Plain Sight?
Sure.
Oh,
We talked about it a lot.
We don't have to go rehash it, but it was wild, right? Okay,
Amazing.
so there's something that when I was watching that, like, changed my whole perspective on. This sounds like a weird sentence, pedophilia. Still think it's wrong, but I used to think that, oh yeah, these people are attracted to kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's attracted to kids anymore. I think they're attracted to the the power dynamic with a kid, where a kid looks at you like you're God.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's why he was able to get whacked off by the dad, right? Because his sexual attraction, or the thing that turned him on, was cued by complete dominance over a human being, right?
Right. And then that's why he was able to fuck his wife,
Well,
too.
he knew the dad was gay. He knew the dad was gay and preyed on that. And,
but he wasn't gay. Like,
right.
So, but the fact that he could get up,
B was just sexual.
Yeah, the dad was not well,
you don't think so?
No, the dad was a 5. No, in 1972, he was a 5.
It was weird.
Oh, that's a rough 5.
So because you look at the R. Kelly situation, right? My boy pointed out one of the chicks in his harem was 30, right?
Yes.
So it's like, for him, and this goes even into like pedophile priest shit. It's like, oh, does going into the Catholic religion make you a pedophile? No. Being a pedophile makes you go into that
because you're searching for that power.
Because you're looking at the person in your community who everybody looks at up to as God. You're like, ooh, I want to be that because I need this kind of love and affection. So anyway, it's just a different way to kind of look at.
I definitely
so you think that you think that like a guy that's like 19, 20 and wants to go and be a priest in his mind?
Not all at all.
Right, but you're saying the ones that do that.
Yeah, I don't think
they're going to that for that.
Yes, they're like, because everybody that's going to be a priest on some level, it's like I imagine on some level, well, no, you truly love God and you want to service God.
But people who want a position of power,
right,
want it for a reason. Like, it's one thing to, if you want to service God, you want to service God. If you want to service God on a level that puts you above other people, and that's something that inside you, there's something there.
I also think some of those guys want to think that's they can escape their demons there too.
That's true.
I think a lot of guys think it will cure them, or like that, maybe God can save me.
No, that's great. Let me get close to the person that can really change. And I'm not saying that everybody that goes to be a priest is a bad person. I have friends that are pastors and stuff like that are like great guys. Some are. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have what the percentage is, but that's a great point. So you're going to cure it, right?
Well, you think it'll just save you from whatever your demons are,
and then it doesn't save you. But now you're in this position where all of a sudden you got all this power to do the kind of wild shit that you were trying to run from.
Right.
There's just something curious going on. So, because R. Kelly can bang this 30-year-old and these 18-year-olds at the same time.
Well, let's listen to R. Kelly talk about his girlfriends that he's deeply in love with because they're legal.
Married, I don't know. I don't know if you had a relationship. I don't know what I don't know. But one might be older than the other. One might be younger than the other. Okay? So I just look at legal. Okay? There are older men that like younger women.
Is that
there
true?
are younger women that like older men.
Are you an older man that likes younger women?
I'm an older man that love all women.
Okay.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
I'm a sexual man.
Yeah.
But by the way,
that was honest though what he just said.
I love all.
That was
Yeah.
When you drag out the word "all" in an interview, you're trying to save your reputation.
Yeah.
That just snuck out. I love all. Oh fuck! Why did I say that?
Just licking his lips, looking at Gayle. I love all women, Gayle. Okay, Robert. Get a hold of yourself. And this is where R. Kelly. So one of the defenses he's saying is that the women that were being quote unquote held captive, he said he bought them from the parents. So
he bought them.
I believe that he is saying that. So I mean, it's like, if he bought them, he bought them. That's fair. Fair is fair.
That's true.
And you should talk to the parents.
Absolutely.
He's bringing up the parents here.
Yeah.
In one of these situations.
Speak to the merchant.
That's right.
I didn't go looking for a Jocelyn Savage. I was doing my show. He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly. Make sure she's on the stage.
Azrael Clary, what is your relationship with her?
Right now, I'm seeing her.
You were seeing her?
Yeah, she's 21. I'm seeing her.
She's 21.
Yeah.
But you're in trouble when you're, for the record, 21 and I'm seeing her. Like when age comes first. Before you ask, she's 21.
Wait, is she the one from the documentary that left that they found on TMZ, or no? Is that a different girl?
I think that's a different girl. I think that Azrael,
because that girl was heartbreaking. The girl, her mom came and rescued her.
Yeah,
and then then they
back.
said 3 days later she went back to R. Kelly. But after that, she went back home.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good.
Which made me feel good.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
People do escape. I mean, like abusive situations.
They do
Right.
escape. Yeah. If there are abusive situations.
Yeah,
allegedly.
I don't think I'm going to get sued for saying that she might have escaped an abusive situation. I think I can hold up in court.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, R.
Okay.
Did you start seeing her at 17?
Absolutely not.
Did you have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Although her parents wanted me to.
No, her parents claim they have text messages that show that you had sex with her when she was 17.
Claim.
So you're saying you did not have sex with her when she was 17?
Absolutely not.
Can we look up Azriel Clary? Troy, I want to see what she looks like, so I'll know her face.
Yeah, is she the one that went to the pool party? Remember that one that was describing going to the pool party, who was hanging out outside the courtroom during R. Kelly's first case?
I don't. I remember the one that had very, very short hair at the end with the little baseball hat, and they took her.
Oh, I remember her. Yeah, that was the one.
Like now, though.
Is that the who's the
That's
one
not-
whose mom came and rescued her?
That was her, but she cut off all her hair and was wearing a baseball hat, wasn't she?
Is that Azriel Clary?
I think so.
No, she's back with him.
I guess so. That's tough. That's tough. That's
crazy.
What does Kels do next? Kels is talking to Gayle King on CBS, and she talks about the concert stuff, that he would have girls on stage with him at the concert, they would come backstage with him, and then all of a sudden he's leaving the concert with the kids, and the parents that brought the kids are like, what happened to my kid? So I guess he's addressing it here.
Yeah.
You are with two women right now. You love them. They say they love you. What kind of love is it that keeps these young women away from their families? Their families are saying.
These?
I'm talking right now about Jocelyn
Because you know,
and
I'm
Azriel.
going to answer your question.
What kind of love is that?
What kind of father? What kind of mother will sell their daughter to a man?
Who did that?
How come it was okay for me to see them until they wasn't getting no money from it? Ooh. Why would you take your daughter? If I were going to take my daughter and she's 19 years old to a 49-year-old icon, whatever, celebrity, or
whatever you want to call it,
That's fair.
I guess icon is the right word, however you want to say
God.
it. Certainly not pedophile, though.
Yeah.
You can say icon.
Star icon. That's such a big jump.
I'm not going to put her on the stage and leave her. I'm going to take her to the concert. Their father is more into my music and know about my music than they do.
You're saying the parents handed their daughters, Azriel and Jocelyn, over to you? Is that what you're saying to us?
Absolutely. Are the cameras still going?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't the cameras be
How often, they don't turn off in the middle of interviews.
Yeah, let's not film this.
Yeah, we have to reload, but we're not going to say anything.
there is a through line with abducted in plain sight, the Michael Jackson thing, and this. It's like completely incompetent parents.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Unfathomable.
But the in plain sight, I thought was the word. The in plain sight was actually that was criminal.
Yeah,
parents did.
Well, I mean, look, the father's distracted. He's fucking jerking the guy off. By the way, I submit that he sucked it too. That's my guess.
Of course he did. I love how he showed up during the day and he goes, "Man, I'm a little tense. You want to go for a ride? I got a stiffy." And the guy's like, "Yeah, because you jerked me off. I'm a good friend."
Yeah.
It's kid stuff. It's just kid stuff.
Kid stuff.
Kid stuff. Come on.
There's
What are we
no
doing
way
here?
the father didn't fucking. I guarantee you, Bob's big hand went on the back of fucking Dumpy's head. He was like, "All right."
You think it was a one-time deal?
No,
me neither.
No,
me neither.
He did sexual acts with both parents, and I think that's what he was holding. That was kind of why they were, he had that power over them.
And he blackmailed the. They all tell them everything, so they let their daughter just kind of be. They're terrible people.
Terrible parents.
Even the Michael Jackson stuff. It's so clear when you're talking to those moms. If you believe those documentaries,
dude,
both of those moms wanted to be able to hang out with Michael Jackson, wanted their kids to be able to get up on stage with Michael Jackson, and they ignored every telltale sign.
The sign that made illuminated for me was one of the moms says this. He goes, "Yeah, Michael Jackson befriended us." Us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
to
right.
this day, she says us.
Wade Robson's mom was saying in the doc, she goes, "No, Michael and I had a completely different relationship than Michael and Wade." And then she says when Michael died, she clutched a Michael Jackson jacket and just cried and cried and cried for hours.
She also said that she didn't want to know the sexual. Is that the one who said she didn't want to know the sexual? Who's the Australian lady?
That's Wade Robson's mom.
She didn't want to know any of the sexual stuff. I'd have nightmares. Well, it's like he has to deal with it.
Yeah.
What a selfish, awful woman.
Yeah.
No wonder he doesn't like you.
Bro, it was
Yeah, she's a cunt.
Yeah.
What a fucking cunt.
I don't want to know.
You know what
nightmares.
what makes these guys the most sick though is like the shit they do before they actually do the sexual act. The way they like kiss him on the head, give him candy,
grooming?
and then all of a sudden, and then it's like I could trust this guy. This guy gave me cotton candy and put me on a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah.
And he's taking care of my family. And then then we're gonna hop in bed, lay down together, and then it just starts like that. And I think they like still like love him in a way, which is fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Dude, I'm watching it. That was the scariest thing about it. Like when they were the first 30 minutes, I turned after 30 minutes, but before they really talked about any kind of sexual shit, it seemed like they were reminiscing on the best part of their fucking life.
Well, the kids loved him. Yeah, like
they
you know,
fucking loved him.
I mean, they're still on some level. You talk to Wade by the end of the thing. He's like, yeah, I was like sexually abused, but on some level, he still looks at Michael Jackson as his first love.
Yeah,
100%.
Because he's young. When you're that young, and that shit happens,
dude. MJ might have been a better molester than dancer, bro. The fact that like he still got that connection in these fucking kids' eyes.
Yeah,
like, and they're both straight.
Well, he is a big star too. It's when you're considered a god, there's an aura, and it's kind of hard. But if he was a regular guy, if he was a trucker, if he was Michael Jackson, the fucking guy that worked for UPS part time, he would not have a 30-year love affair.
Be tougher.
So you gotta earn your molestation. Is that?
Oh, absolutely. You're a god among men. I get it.
FedEx Michael Jackson from Jersey.
Yeah, it's Mike Jackson.
You want to go on a truck ride? No. You tour the neighborhood. No.
Why would I?
Yeah, sure. This is like riding a private jet to Hawaii.
This is literally the most. I think it's safe to say. Would you guys agree? This is the most famous person of all time.
Michael Jackson.
I mean, who? I mean,
Jesus, Michael. Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Caesar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, some big ones.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, but in terms of pop culture people, Michael and Elvis are the people.
Yeah,
I would even give Michael the edge over Elvis.
I would probably too.
Elvis was there before, but Michael for long after.
Yeah, Michael had way longer of a run.
Like Elvis wasn't in Asia,
right? Well,
Michael
I think he was big. I think he was big.
But Elvis is not really listened to in Africa. They probably know who he is, though.
Yeah, but literally the entire world was focusing on one human being.
Like if he went to Japan, it was Beatles. If he went to Africa, it was Beatles. Like it was.
How about this? Michael has the whole world looking at him, and he's still able to molest.
Yeah.
You talk about having a lens on you. Can you believe that?
Smooth criminal. Greatest molester of all time.
And he put little hats on them and walked them around in public holding their hand, and they're like, oh, that's not cute.
Yeah.
Pulled it off.
He dressed him up like him and walked him around nonstop. The whole world's watching.
And notice they said he didn't do it with Macaulay Culkin.
He's abducted in plain sight.
Like Macaulay Culkin was there apparently, right? And he didn't do anything with him, but maybe he knew. He's like, listen, this kid's famous.
Right. And Corey Feldman is the same deal. Didn't do anything with Corey Feldman.
Corey was jealous. Did you see that fucking jealousy? He was so He's like, if he didn't do it to me, why would he do it to anyone else?
Yeah, we were reading that.
Fucking egomaniac. You ugly little kid. That's why he didn't touch you.
You're fucked up mentally when you're like, what the fuck?
You didn't get diddled.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Say it.
Nope.
Now it's time.
No, I don't have a joke. I had a thought.
Go.
It was like it was almost like when you're formulating a joke and it's like the parts are coming together in front of you.
A beautiful mind.
It didn't happen there.
Right.
No.
The funny part just flew right by.
Two parts.
All the other parts are around.
Two parts floated. I just stared at them in the air and watched them go away like a fool. Like a goddamn fool on live radio.
All right, we didn't finish that clip, did we, Troy, or did we?
No.
Okay, this is R. Kelly. Did we play
the
concert clip we played?
Yeah.
Okay. This is R. Kelly now talking about his child support, which this interview was obviously filmed on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours removed from the interview, he would be arrested for said child support. Isn't that interesting? $160,000. But R. Kelly talks about it here.
How can I pay child support? How? If my ex-wife is destroying my name and I can't work, how can I work? How can I get paid? How can I take care of my kids? How?
Your ex-wife.
Use your common sense.
Your ex-wife says you abused her, Robert.
13 years being married. I flew in on a helicopter
That's pretty
I
badass.
flew in on a helicopter.
That's pretty. That is pretty cool to fly in on a
Lancers in the
helicopter.
back with a surfboard.
I mean, helicopters are cool.
Oh, sure.
You know, so
Are we stopping?
well, just to kind of assess,
Take
like,
it in, okay.
yeah. I mean,
Virzi,
Because he's just so up and down, like, and that crying seems like acting.
wait, and why?
13 years.
Like, why are you crying? Because I flew in on a helicopter. What?
Did that mean nothing to you?
I know. Fucking Vic Morrow told a happier helicopter story.
All right, let's get back to Kels. We shouldn't be making fun of him. He's a vulnerable man.
He's a very vulnerable.
This is in his weakened state. I mean, for God's sakes, guys.
Yeah.
The man flew in on a helicopter.
Flew in a helicopter.
You believe this?
Dude, that reminds me of that Bill Burr joke in the helicopter, man. That was one of the loudest I've ever laughed while watching something on TV.
What was the joke?
The helicopter ride he went in. No, he went in, but about the guy. I'm gonna butcher it, but he was just telling a story about this guy who was
giving tours,
and then just jumped out of the helicopter.
You want to know? This is a great story. We're driving.
It's too fun.
No, Andrew, we're driving from El Paso to San Antonio, me and him, and I go like this. This is true. This is how it came about. I go, we're driving from El Paso to San Antonio like 4 years ago, and 3 years ago, and I just go, dude, did you hear about that? I heard the story. I go, did you hear about that guy that was giving helicopter tours over Orange County, and he just showed up alone. He got to 500 feet. He opened the door and he jumped the fuck out. And Burr, I just see his wheels. He goes, what do you think? He goes, dude, what do you think the pilot was thinking, right? So then he's going, oh, fuck, close the door. He goes, hey, close the door. And, they go, oh, fuck. He starts doing it. And I watched him. I go, dude, you got to do that on, because when we would be on tour, he'd be like, you do that on stage, I'll do this. You promise? Like, we would, a growing thing. And I go, you got to do that on stage. That was so funny. And he did it. And he just did that part. But then he did it from both perspectives. And then by the time the tour was over, he had the whole thing. But the guy was supposed to go up in the helicopter with his wife.
And then he
said that he was going with two, but his whole plan was to kill himself.
Right.
So he's like, oh, the other person didn't show up. But here's the kicker: the helicopter pilot just got the company handed to him after 40 years from the father.
So that was his
and
first ride. And the guy jumped out.
So he went. Got there. He's like, yeah, the other person's not coming. Got to 500. Just looked over and just went. And
the craziest thing is he jumped. So he's doing this funny act out where he's like, so right now you can see the Los Angeles. Put your seatbelt back on. So you can see Los Angeles. Right there. What's he doing? Close the door. What's he doing? No! What the fuck? And then he goes, the craziest thing is the guy lived. The guy jumped out.
He lived and then he died in the hospital. He brought him there. They brought him a mess.
Oh, wow. So he does the act out of him falling, and he goes, 4 more seconds until I'm happy. 3 more seconds until I don't have to deal with any of this shit anymore. Boom!
But the guy did die in the hospital.
Yeah,
he died in the hospital. Yeah,
but dude, oh god, R. Kelly, man, visionary.
All right, let's rewind just a little bit so we can hear about R. Kelly's helicopter and how he can't pay child support because of it.
Sure.
13 years being married. I flew in on a helicopter.
Yeah.
I flew in on a helicopter.
Yes. Can somebody get us some tissue?
I don't want no tissue. I'm gonna leave.
No, you're doing well.
Look, man, look.
Wait, somebody is misinforming him of something.
I'm going to leave, he said.
And the guy goes, no, you're doing well.
The guy next to him said you're doing well.
That's like Gayle King's producer. No, it's going great.
It's probably the same guy. Probably the same guy that signs R. Kelly's checks.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
He's sitting there going like, no, you're doing great. You're doing awesome.
Tell y'all.
Oh, shit.
I flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy, and I proposed to Drill, whom I was in love with, and told her, hey, look, I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. We got married. Okay? We had 3 beautiful kids. Not once have I ever had a domestic violence call at the house and all this, that, and the other. It never happened. Okay?
I mean, that's the most romantic thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, brings a puppy on a helicopter.
He flew in on a helicopter with a damn puppy. I mean, come on.
I believe him.
Does this guy sound like a bad guy to you?
I believe that story.
I believe that story 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you know how much you have to do to make up for the fact that you might be pissing on underage women?
Yes.
Like that you really have to charm a girl at that point. And a puppy in a helicopter will help.
You imagine if a woman says no, you propose, you put your fucking dog back on the helicopter and take off. Humiliating.
All right, well, I guess I got to ride home.
This is why he fucks kids, though, because that would impress a kid.
Oh my God, a helicopter and a
kid's
puppy?
brain work. It's just like...
We get candy canes in there, too? It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's incredible. I got a bag full of gobstoppers, too. Amazing!
That's a very romantic way.
Imagine proposing to your wife who checks your bank account with a helicopter and a puppy.
Yeah.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
And Jess, good news. We also got a dog. Yeah. Like, we can't. This isn't
walk the dog.
This isn't a returnable puppy. Yeah. So
I want to go to Lancaster and get one from a puppy mill because they're really that's where the best place to buy them.
You like puppy mills the best?
I do. Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
They love giving birth.
I believe that is Rob in there with you, Travis?
Yes, he is.
So does Rob think that this last clip is best to be played through audio or video?
I'd do video.
Okay. Troy, why don't you hook us up with the video? Because Rob said that the visual was terrific.
Yeah, I sent Troy the link.
Good for you, Rob.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. Did I?
Very dutiful. Very dutiful young man.
Unfortunately,
I don't know if I deleted
we are dealing with a little operator error here.
Why would you delete it?
I'll resend it.
No, just look in your trash.
Oh, girlfriend.
Yeah.
No, this isn't.
Oh,
it's in
my
trash.
God.
Try trash.
Try trash.
Where's your garbage?
Why would you delete it? He just sent you the clip and you deleted it?
I don't know.
He sent it to you during the break and he was like, here, we might do this. And you were like, oh, let me just delete
You made
that.
an executive decision. Nah, fuck it.
Fuck
Troy's
it.
got Rob on the pay no mind list.
Yeah, he does. It's
true.
worse than the pay no mind
Right there.
Fuck, Troy.
Yeah, but
No.
this is just an audio clip.
No, but it's
I
my
just
God.
resent it.
no, but it's
Go to your inbox.
yeah. Go to
Yeah,
inbox.
try the inbox.
Yeah, but right there. No.
No.
Inbox.
Wait. Right.
Wait.
No.
Hold on.
Inbox.
Inbox.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Now you can
Refresh. There you go.
There we are. There we
Troy,
go.
you may be
Don't delete
the
that.
worst person to ever operate a PC.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
You're on the list.
You could just click the link. You don't have to highlight it.
I know, but then I open it in Internet Explorer, and then it
Well,
gives
I'd
me
rather you open it in
issues
Internet
and-
Explorer than just sit here and have your thumb up your ass.
No, my thumb's not up my ass.
It feels like it. It smells.
Yeah,
Go on now.
It's that one.
Okay, here we go.
Thank God for Rob.
Let's go.
Mike sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people.
Okay, look. That is kind of foolproof.
I don't know how to hogtie people.
He's not a Boy Scout. Where would he learn the knots from?
The defense rests.
Can you imagine? You're the Pied Piper of R&B. I mean, hit after hit. Decades of success in the music industry, and 2019 has brought you to the point that you're on national network morning television, bawling your eyes out, saying, I don't know how to hogtie people.
Can we see that again?
I mean, if that's not the greatest quote that CBS this morning will ever have in an interview, I don't know what is. And he's doing, I mean, this is the face that I was talking about yesterday, and a bunch of people on social media picked it up. This is the face that I believe will beat out the Crying Jordan face for dominance in crying memes.
Ooh.
This is it.
Sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people.
I mean, come on. That face with the context of, what was R. Kelly crying about? He was crying because he was being falsely accused of hog-tying people.
Well, maybe he's upset that he didn't know how to do it.
He didn't even know how to do it. I don't know how to hog-tie people.
I'm already embarrassed. I can't read. I don't know how to hog-tie too.
Somebody sent me a hog-tie manual. I just looked at it.
I can't do knots. Can't read no instructions about hog-tie.
Your Honor, the defense would like to present Exhibit D. R. Kelly's YouTube history. He clearly viewed a how to hog-tie YouTube video.
Well, after they accuse me, I'm going to try to figure it out.
I can't walk these streets not knowing how to hog-tie.
What if I find a hog? I don't know where to find a hog. What am I going to do? Just leave it there?
I can't buy bacon in the store anymore because they stole all my money. I got to hog-tie these hogs. Come on, man. The Pied Piper. He can't believe it. He can't believe this is all. How could this happen to him?
This is his worst nightmare.
How could this all be happening to me? I did the remix to Ignition. How could this be happening? Hog tying. I don't know how to hog tie. Okay. Well,
Listen to all my songs. I'm talking about hogs. You won't see me talking about hog tying. You would think you would have rhymed about it.
And I grabbed. I don't hog tie.
Since when? I believe I can fly. I don't believe I can hog tie. That's not how the song went.
There was a midget trapped in a closet. He couldn't reach the knob. He wasn't tied. I would have tied him up if I could have.
He wasn't trapped in a barn. I got puppies, not hogs. Exactly. You don't got tied up. You just put a leash.
Who's got a helicopter in a hog? Come on. It's not going to happen.
Use logic.
Common sense. Use common sense.
It's common sense.
Is that camera on?
Oh, shit.
You're doing a great job, Gayle King. You're doing a great
She really is, man.
You think Gayle King is just sitting there watching this man lose his mind and going, holy shit.
Yeah, this is what you hope for.
The greatest thing that could have ever happened to me.
But she keeps hitting him, too.
There was two things that happened in Gayle King's career. One, she became Oprah's best friend. Two, she got to interview R. Kelly.
She didn't think it would go this well.
No,
There's no way she thought it would go this well.
The ego it would take on somebody to think that it would go this well.
Wait, he's going to cry and throw his arms out and claim he doesn't know how to hog tie people? No, it's not going to happen.
It's ridiculous. It couldn't.
Don't, please.
It couldn't.
We can dream.
Do you think that this helps us? Do you think people like go to his music after this?
Bro,
you know, I don't know.
He doesn't come out in a fucking helicopter on his next show, he's out of his goddamn
If he has another show, he may
Yeah.
not even get another show.
Yeah.
Just holding a hog-tied puppy. I learned.
You can learn from your mistakes.
And now I know how to hog-tie. So watch out. All right, let's get back to it.
My kids is listening to this, all of this nonsense, and I ain't been able to spend no time with them. This is real. This is not a lie. What kind of woman will tear down a dad who's trying to have a relationship with their kids? You know how many kids need a relationship with their father?
What is your relationship with your children?
Oh my God.
What is your relationship with your children?
R. Kelly is sitting there.
Loosening his tie.
Here's what's going on. R. Kelly just loosened his tie. He's crying. I mean, crocodile tears. He's bawling, crying. Gayle King is looking at him stone-faced.
Nothing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is your relationship?
Nothing.
You know what's going on in R. Kelly's mind? What the fuck do I have to do to break this woman?
Yeah.
How great would it be if he just pulled out his dick and pissed on her? Like, you know what, fuck this.
Gayle.
Here's your hog tie, bitch. He just snapped.
And she wouldn't move. She'd still fire out questions.
While it's just hitting her forehead.
Yeah.
So, what is the relationship with your children? Just
She is
give me a towel.
relentless.
She just says to her producer, "Give me a towel."
Hey, go back. The most honest moment he just had was that, oh my God, like this is his nightmare.
Yeah,
that was a very honest moment.
Because this is a guy, believe what you want to believe, there is no doubt that this is a guy who's become a professional at using his emotions to trick women into feeling certain ways and to get people to go in the direction that he wants them to go in.
Yeah.
To look across from a woman and to be crying and to be pleading and to be doing all this and to have no effect.
And she has Gayle is not looking, and sometimes women feel, right? A little bit like, oh my God, this guy.
Empathy.
She's looking at him like, fuck you, you actor. This is bullshit.
She's zero.
Yeah, I know what you did. I still know what you did.
I think
I still know what you did.
His meltdown is real, but she doesn't give a fuck. At all.
His meltdown is not for the reasons that he's saying the meltdown is for, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just he's realizing his career is over.
Yeah, I can't believe that. And he also, at this point in the interview, I think, realizes that this is not going the way he thought it was going to go.
Yes.
That he's not convinced Gayle King. Because he knows, look, he may not be the smartest guy in the world. He doesn't know banking or reading or spelling or anything like that. Or hog tying. He doesn't know knots. He knows two things. He knows music and he knows people's emotions.
Yeah.
And he knows he is not broken Gayle.
He's probably a very good manipulator.
Absolutely.
He's a good communicator, and he just can't with her.
He can't.
He doesn't care about the kids crying there. You're right, Jim. It's not about that.
No, it's more about he's just realizing the magnitude of what's happened. Like, and that, oh my God, is this? It's my nightmare. It's here.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It's real.
Pulls out his dick and starts cleaning.
What else can I do?
Can't do it anymore.
What else can I
And you hear the trickle of liquid hitting the paper as she reads the next question. Relentless. Gayle King is relentless.
It's just gliding down the paper. It's kind of coned, you know?
Yeah.
She's just reading her questions.
She does one of these. And you know, Robert, it says here that you knew she was 13.
From the back of the sheet, you see that yellow stain starting to build, and she won't stop.
This woman is crazy. I'm peeing on this woman and nothing.
Oh, dude, you just broke me, dude.
All right, let's get back to the clip.
Oh, fuck. Relationship with their father.
What is your relationship with your children?
Oh, my God.
What is your relationship with your children?
Excuse me.
Zero. But I know my kids love me. And I'm in love with my kids.
Yeah.
I love my kids.
Let's see what Gayle had to say.
In January, Kelly's oldest child, who is now 20 years old, wrote in an Instagram post that she and her two siblings have not had a relationship with their father for years. We reached out to Andrea Kelly for comment on R. Kelly's allegations, but her representatives say they do not have any statements at this time.
Gayle King is fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude. They were interviewing her.
Stone cold. She's great.
She's become a big part of the story now. They were interviewing her, and it was a story yesterday that she said, this is when you know you're fucked if you're R. Kelly. The headline yesterday was, Gayle King says she didn't feel like she was in danger during the interview. And you're going, you are so, like, R. Kelly is such a villain that the assumption would be, oh, Gayle King must have felt like she was in danger. But Gayle King is this He-Man of a woman, this powerful woman who's sitting there standing up to this villain of all villains who can't scare her.
Well, the post on it was him standing up. So all I saw was him standing up in front of her, like with his hand. They wanted you to think that, you know, he was like, she was in some sort of danger, but she was ice cold, man.
Yeah.
Give her credit.
Let me go to some of these calls here. Let's go to Brad in Oregon. What's up, Brad?
Hey man, that clip where he was like, I don't know how to hot tie. Doesn't he sound like Sweet Georgia Brown? Remember that lady? Ain't nobody got time for that.
He does sound like that. I think, Rob, for tomorrow, for your project over the weekend, can you go ahead and make me an R. Kelly soundboard, please? Thank you very, very much. Kevin in Florida.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, this interview is so crazy. I can't imagine that somebody who passed the bar exam would have their client do this. So I'm wondering if it's to, like, poison the jury pool or, like, have a claim for inadequate counsel down the road.
No, I think this is because this is him testifying when he's not under oath. You are poisoning the jury pool. You're testifying, and there's no, you're not bound by being under oath. So he's not going to testify in his own trial, I don't think.
Maybe it's like they're poisoning the jury
but his
pool.
lawyer didn't. His lawyer allowed this.
I don't. Maybe he's just like, I don't.
Meaning
care what the
that,
lawyer
like,
says.
it becomes more difficult to have the trial because they can't find an unbiased jury.
I think he's just trying to get his message out there, and again, not under cross-examination.
But maybe they're thinking it's like the Knicks. Like, fans of the Knicks want them to lose more now, so they get the higher draft pick at the beginning of the next season.
Okay.
So maybe the lawyer is going like, okay, halfway through the interview, he's going, this is going so badly that maybe it'll just fuck the case up entirely. So this either has to go excellent or horribly.
Yeah.
So this is by design. That's an interesting theory.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think R. Kelly had a complete breakdown.
Okay.
I think he envisioned this going very, very, very differently.
Okay.
Very differently. I think he thought he was gonna win over Gayle King, like he's done to so many other women.
Yeah, and then when he saw it not going that way, he just broke.
He's broke.
He broke.
She broke him.
Yeah.
Instead of she broke him. Yeah. I believe.
Wow.
Eddie in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, hi. I was just calling because I noticed that the interviewer forgot to ask the most pertinent questions with all the time that she had allotted to her was, did these girls have their passports and did they get their shots?
That actually is thank you, Eddie. That actually is a very, very important question. And hopefully
delivered like Frankenstein's assistant.
Yeah.
But still.
We're all sitting there going like, well, clearly this is a prank call. A person doesn't sound like that.
Thank you, Eddie.
You thought that was Igor?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. And who knows? Because we've only heard clips. Maybe Gayle King will ask this pertinent question in the extended interview that they air on Friday night. But I would like to know if the girls had their passports and if they had their shots. Do you know this single, Andrew Schulz? I know you're familiar with R. Kelly's catalog.
Love it.
You like this one?
Yeah. Live from Ethiopia.
Have you heard the song, Do You Have Your Passports?
No.
Check it out.
What year is this?
This is
12 or 2009? Right now.
I think it is from somewhere around 2000.
No, this is recent. He was just in Ethiopia, I thought.
This is from New Year's, so it wasn't this year's New Year's.
I thought it was.
No, I don't think so.
Andrew might be right. It might be recent.
I don't think it's this year's New Year's.
Oh.
But he went to Ethiopia. It's from 2011, I'm being told.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But he went to Ethiopia. And, well, you're wrong on all counts. And this was the song that he just started singing to the crowd on New Year's Eve.
I got it. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America.
I mean, it's the greatest song ever.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Rob to America? America. 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 Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Who wants to come?
What a powerful voice.
Amazing.
Isn't it amazing that he can just sing about anything and it becomes a song?
He literally, I mean, he's got such a what a gift to be able to fucking belt out a shit lyric song like that.
And he's just recruiting is what he's doing.
100%. But it's great that he doesn't, he's too stupid to write in metaphor. So it's just very, very literal. But he's so talented that he can get away with being so stupid as a writer. Yeah. It's amazing. I would say that song probably wouldn't do R. Kelly any favors if it were played in court. No. I would absolutely present that as evidence. Like, just so you know, this is the type of shit he does in Ethiopia. I don't know if
Did you get your shots?
Well, yeah.
I guess you need shots, though. Need those shots. You can't be coming without the shots.
But when you say, do you have your passport, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Right. When you go as far as, did you get your shots?
Do you want to come to America?
That's like I'm really asking.
No, yeah. Let's
like, that's not like we're just doing this for the song. Like, once I go, did you get your shots? No, I want to know, because I am going to bring some of you back with me to America.
Somebody back was like, you think we could bring some of these girls back? And he's, hold on, I got an idea. Turn this into a song. I think we could do it.
We should take a break. So should R. Kelly, but we should take a break right now. That's up to him. Andrew Schulz is here. Of course, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 of his new special, Views from the Sis, are available now at youtube.com/TheAndrewSchulz. Part 3 comes out on Sunday, and before Sunday, so between today and tomorrow, you watch Part 1 and Part 2 of Views from the Sis. Saturday, you go over to Bridgeport, Connecticut. You see Andrew Schulz at the Stress Factory. Sunday, you come back home and you watch Part 3 of Views from the Sis at youtube.com/TheAndrewSchulz. In the meantime, you go over to Comedy Central's website. You stream Paul Virzi's very first TV special, Bill Burr Presents Paul Virzi, I'll Say This. It's available to stream right now on Comedy Central's website. And tonight, you can see Paul at the New York Comedy Club. He'll also be at Improv Asylum in New York on Saturday and at Bananas in Hasbrook Heights on March 22nd and 23rd. Jim Norton?
Orlando, 15th, 16th of March. San Francisco, Cobb's, April 4, 5, 6.
Travis, you going to play a little dealio before Jim does his thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Good evening. Man, oh man. R. Kelly. Well, it's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yep.
Paul Virzi is here. His first TV special, Bill Burr Presents Paul Virzi, I'll Say This, is available to stream on Comedy Central's website right now. And Andrew Schulz is here. Chapters 1 and 2 of his new special, Views from the Sis, are available on his YouTube channel. That's a lot of great comedy content that's just there on the internet. Just consume it.
I saw Virzi's live on TV, or not live on TV, the first time it came out. Sure. It was fucking hilarious.
Where'd you tape it? Thanks, man. Tarrytown Music Hall.
Okay.
Oh, I love that place.
It's beautiful.
You know where that is? It's in the Westchester.
It is. Did I do that place?
Westchester,
Is that
the
where you came to see
Westchester.
me?
I live
No.
there.
You live in the Westchester?
Of course.
What part of Westchester?
I'm in. Well, I don't want to say. I'm northern Westchester.
Oh, okay. I'm a southern Westchester.
Is that
guy.
where you came when I saw you that New Year's Eve?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. It's
and
a nice place, man. Really nice place.
So it's this great theater. I've seen you and Rob Bartlett perform there. Dick Cavett came to see Rob Bartlett.
Did he?
He wasn't there for your show.
He indeed was not.
No, but
I would like that if he was. I'm a big Dick Cavett fan.
I'll tell you, I went to the Terrytown Music Hall. I saw Jim one. Was that New Year's or it was around New Year's?
New
Was it
Year's Eve. Yep.
So I went to see him that New Year's Eve there, and probably 40 minutes through the show, I mean late, a couple walks in to get their seats, and they're holding a baby seat with a baby that had to be 3 months old in it. It's like 10 o'clock at night. They walk in with this 3-month-old just shoveling past everybody because they wanted to sit down and see Jim. And he didn't even notice. Like, he noticed them coming in. But after the show, I go, Jim, like, you didn't mention the fact they had a 3-month-old baby with them. And he was like, they had a baby?
I wish I would have seen. I would have riffed something hilarious.
Like what?
Like, I mean, on Younger Demo is good, but really?
You know what really nails it? The part where you go, really?
Yeah,
Like,
I think, it's good
cool.
natured.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a great building. The only issue is I did an 8 and a 10, and I didn't realize they have to. The building is so old, they have to turn the air conditioning off. So I was on the first show, and I don't sweat on stage. I know I have some friends that just pour sweat. I don't sweat, and I'm just up there, and I'm going, I'm not bombing, am I? Like, I was literally like, because you'll sweat when you're bombing, and they were like, listen, sorry, we had to turn the air conditioner off because you're shooting a special, and the sound
killed
So
it.
then what we did for the 10 is they cranked it up. And then as soon as we were about to go on, then they cut it off because of the sound, because it was so old. So that was the only issue. But the building is awesome.
I happened that in the Lincoln Theater, I think in D.C. It's called it's an older building. There's no AC, and it's just awful.
It is,
Don't
right?
shoot in June in a fucking building with no AC.
There's nothing charming about old buildings that don't have AC.
No.
Tear them down and rebuild them.
It's a great old theater.
Seattle Underground Comedy Club, no AC.
Come on.
Fan on stage.
What? Like, is it like a desk fan or like a big...
Yes, like one of the big ones with the fucking grate in
like
front
a
of it.
square one?
Public school fan on stage behind you.
How was it? The gig?
I know. No, it was fun. It was like when you have your people, it really doesn't matter. But
Yes.
it's like almost embarrassing. It's like these people are so excited to see you, right? So I'm excited for this sold-out show in Seattle, and then they see me with a fucking fan.
Well, what
on
month
stage.
was it?
It was like fall.
Oh,
which it sucks. If it's winter, it's fine.
That's right.
Of course. Probably comfortable.
It's comfortable. It's great.
Yeah.
But who takes out the AC?
It embarrasses you and your fans, right?
Yeah,
Like people
it's
like, we're all coming. I remember one time I was doing it, and they were like laughing, but not at what I was. They were looking behind me laughing. There was a black curtain with like white stains. So they were like, "Oh, we just pictured it was all cum and I was just like, yeah, that's fucking awful."
Yeah.
Yes. I'm telling jokes. You're laughing at you're pretending that those are jizz stains? Like, that's what's going on, huh? Is it usually, I don't know show business as well as you guys do, I don't think. Is it a good thing if you're about to revive a sitcom and the place where it's going is described in the first sentence of the article as fledgling? Is fledgling a compliment or is
fledgling is not good.
Oh, no. Oh.
What is this? What are we talking about?
My erections.
Yeah. I think I found the television network equivalent of Jim Norton's penis. It's they've been talking about doing a Mad About You reboot for about a year now.
Yeah.
They've
Shout out
got
to Paul
Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep in mind,
She won an Oscar.
These two and the show used to be the biggest things. Mad About You was a giant sitcom.
Yep.
Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt, the biggest stars ever. More than a year after talks first started, Mad About You is officially the next in line to get a reunion run. Only instead of the original network, NBC, the sitcom is being revived by Charter's fledgling Spectrum Originals.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's where you want to get a show. That's what I talk about doing my special. I want to do it on Spectrums.
On Charters?
Spectrum.
Charter's
Speculum,
fledgling
whatever it's
network.
called.
No, Spectrum is the cable company.
Spectrum
Charter-
Originals.
Yeah, so it's just like if a Verizon Fios had its own channel.
So it's like public access?
Kinda. Bro, that Reiser was one of the first in the $1 Million Club.
He was, right?
Like million an episode.
92 to 97 it ran.
Unfucking believable.
I feel like if they're going to run this show...
99, sorry.
He's got a baseball field in the back of his house.
Paul Reiser does?
He's a really good actor. He's been in a lot of movies.
He was great in Stranger Things.
Dude, he's hilarious. I did a sitcom or a dramedy, that There's Johnny thing I did for Hulu.
Yeah.
He was the executive producer and writer. He's the fucking coolest dude on set, like the most humble guy.
Why do they want to do Mad About You so badly?
They probably just love
million
doing
in
it.
that, bro. Million in that. I think they thought they were going to get the million, and I think they thought they were going to get like the Roseanne treatment.
I feel like if they're landing on Spectrum Originals, I probably could have had a shot if I had pitched them a slot on YouTube /Not Sam. Yeah. Like I think that there's not that big of a difference,
bro.
There may be more
why this is
viewers
so
at
dumb?
YouTube /Not Sam.
People are so incompetent in this business, right? The reason why Roseanne the reboot worked, right, is because the people that still watch network TV watch the original Roseanne.
Right.
Okay.
The people that watch network TV still watch network TV.
Still watch network TV.
Same, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So in order to get them to watch, you want to tap into their nostalgia, right? Why would you put this on a place that those people have no fucking clue how to access on their cable box?
You don't think the people watching network sitcoms know what Spectrum Originals is?
Yeah.
That's like Channel 1000. Like, they don't go there,
They're
right?
setting them up to fail.
They're setting up to fail. You have, like, all right, so...
Fledgling, by the way.
Yeah.
TV's
Sorry.
falling apart, right? But if I'm making any TV show, it's all nostalgia based. Right? It's like, that's why everybody watched that Versace thing. That's why everybody watched the OJ trial, right? Every show I would put out right now would tap into a time in our life that we remember that was exciting, that we want to relive. Even the Notorious movie or the NWA movie, it's just like, oh, let me live in that moment for a second. I remember when this was coming out.
Everything is nostalgia and retro. Like, I'm watching that Slobby's World on Netflix, where it's just the guy who runs he just rips people off in his vintage store. But really, the reason you're watching is because he's selling T-shirts with stuff from the 90s on it, and you're like, yeah, the 90s.
That's cool.
I remember.
Yeah.
That's the only way. If you're going to tap it, if you're going to get these people who still watch network TV to continue watching, you have to appeal to them. You can't do a show about millennials because they have no attachment to millennials.
No, you could do a Twitter show about millennials or something like you know what I mean, like something.
Remember Lifetime TV movies?
Yeah,
remember
of course.
these movies that none of us watched?
Of course.
Every TV show that comes out right now should be a miniseries based on something like that.
Right.
That's the only thing people will watch on traditional TV now.
Let me tell you something. When USA puts on an SVU marathon, I'm locked in. Locked in.
The NSYNC story. What was that guy's name? The fucking manager who was like some scumbag.
Oh, fucking
Perlman.
Yeah. Lou Pearlman.
How the fuck have they not made an 8-episode miniseries on FX or one of these channels?
Give it to Ryan Murphy. If Ryan Murphy did
It's
a
over.
Lou Pearlman show, it would be the greatest thing ever.
8 episodes, just like the OJ shit. We'll all tap into. You just play the songs. We're like, oh, I remember Bye Bye Bye. Oh, I didn't know that he was trying to, fuck with touch Justin.
The songs things drives me crazy because the songs. I mean, it's translating into movies. The Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, one of quite literally the worst movies of the year.
Is it that bad?
It's horrible.
Yeah.
But as you're watching,
Yeah,
you're
the end
going,
Freddie Mercury lives. It just wasn't
makes
good.
no sense.
And it wasn't like true, right? Like the thing.
I mean, it was so whitewashed.
Well, they did it for the fans.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take.
Right, they did it for the fans. This is when you know a movie's bad.
Yeah.
You know how they did a classic 20 to 25 minute set at Live Aid? It's their greatest set ever, like, the Live Aid set Queen did. They reenacted the set, the full thing. They spent 20 to 25 minutes of the movie doing the full Live Aid set.
It's
just
a
all the songs.
complete waste of time.
Everything. When you've got 25 minutes to spare like that in a movie, you got nothing. And when you're telling the story of Freddie Mercury, one of the fucking craziest rock stars ever, and you got 25 minutes to do the Live Aid set, we got YouTube for that. We don't need to see it reenacted.
Dude, they should have.
But here's why people think that the movie was great.
Yeah.
Because of the Queen songs. The same reason why people thought that the dumb Star is Born movie was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was not a good movie. However, Shallow is an incredible song.
Great song.
So what do? They go, oh my God, I love this song. I'm feeling emotions. I'm watching this movie. The emotions must be because the movie's good. No. It's Lady Gaga singing that Shallow song.
It's smart.
That's why you feel right now.
They found a way to manipulate us.
Right. And the same thing would happen with your Lou Pearlman pitch.
Dude,
just play the NSYNC songs. They did Backstreet Boys too.
Make it dark. Remember when they made Mortal Kombat kind of dark?
Yes.
Do that with it. Like, how fucking cool would that be? I'm watching it.
Yes.
This guy was like an all-time scumbag proman, right? Like,
yes, he stole everybody's money.
And the FBI was watching him the whole time.
Is he in jail?
He died.
He's dead.
Even better. It's like a cool,
But
crazy
didn't he go to
ending.
jail too?
Maybe.
I think he went to jail and then died. So both.
Yeah, so you get satisfied at the end of that. That's it.
Yeah, there's no way you're missing out. Like, if you wanted him to go to jail or you wanted him to be dead, we're good.
Wait, by the way, is that Connors? Is that
It looks
Connors
like Louis
back
Anderson.
on?
He does.
Connors, the spin-off of Roseanne, that's still on?
I hope so.
That would be dead soon.
Yeah, I mean...
It is, I think it is. I don't think they've canceled it.
They'll cancel it.
What did they,
But
like,
yeah, it
kill her off
wasn't-
from drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
they-
died of like opioid
overdose.
Yeah. She was taking all. She was hoarding her medication. She took it all.
She killed herself?
She killed herself. She took all it. Well, I don't know if she did. I watched the first episode. I think. Yeah, she had all kinds of pills, and she was getting pills from her neighbor, and then she just ate
It's
a bunch
almost
of pills
like evil
and
to
died.
make her die like that.
Yeah, and you can't have the show without her. Nobody wants to see that.
It doesn't make sense. It just
nobody wants to see the show without Roseanne.
I'm upset. I really want to watch that Lou Pearlman show now, especially if Ryan Murphy does it. Ryan Murphy, everything he does for television, incredible.
How much you want to bet they make that? How much you want to bet we put that into the ecosystem today?
I'll take that bet. I like Julie.
We gambling? Yeah, I'm in.
I like
I'm in.
action. I'll take
I'm
that.
in.
Yeah.
I mean, those Ryan Murphy shows are so good.
Yeah. What's he doing now? Is he doing one?
Yeah, he signed a deal with Netflix to do a ton of shows. Yeah, and he's still got like the Feud show with Betty Davis and what's the other one?
No, wait. Betty Davis.
Now you got to make me look up this Ryan Davis stuff.
Feud is the name of the show.
Not Joan Crawford.
No, it wasn't Joan Crawford. Hit that Feud link, Troy. Put me out of my misery once and for all. Feud was Joan Crawford. Yeah, Joan Crawford and Betty Davis. So I don't care about this feud that existed between Joan Crawford and Betty Davis. Who would possibly care, right? But Ryan Murphy puts out an 8 to 10 episode series where we're going over the whole feud between Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And I swear it was the best TV show of the year that year. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And you're right.
You're tapping into a time in history. Even fucking Narcos, when you really think about it, it's tapping into a time that we're at least curious about if we don't personally remember it.
Yeah.
And then once you establish the world, you just trickle shit off of it. But now we're in Mexico.
And it's funny, when you watch things from those times, 80s and 90s, even when you see a car,
you're like,
I
remember
shit,
those.
that was my neighborhood. You know?
totally.
And you just tell,
now
I
when
got
I'm
one for
watching
you. I got one
Narcos,
for
I
you.
don't think that. That's my neighborhood. They're beheading someone in the town.
I got one for you. Take this bet.
Go.
Golden Girls. They're going to do it again. Golden Girls, because those people are still watching network.
Yep.
Well, if they're alive.
Who do they do it with, though?
That's what I was thinking.
Hawn.
Who's B. Arthur?
You know who it is?
Right,
Which one of them is alive?
None of them.
Betty Davis,
No.
but she's
No,
barely
Betty-
alive.
Betty White, right?
Betty White.
Betty White's alive. So what I do is I do Golden Girls again. I do it with Betty White's daughter and the other girls' daughters.
If they're actors.
If no, not the real ones. I'm saying we.
Sorry, okay.
We keep the world
Stupid
the
I
same.
am.
Oh, you
How dumb am I?
No, I was actually thinking that too.
What a non-showbiz fucking asshole.
Yeah, you're not right for a
They're
table.
not actors.
What a goddamn fucking idiot.
One of them's working at the DMV.
You're just sitting throwing ideas around the table. Jim pipes up with, who invited fucking Norton?
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
So yeah,
how are you gonna find? What if they didn't have a daughter though? What, Jim? It's what? It's
TV
fake.
show. It's not a
Jim.
real actor.
It's fake.
Stupid.
That could win.
Who plays B. Arthur?
B. Arthur's daughter.
No, what actress would play B.
Who
Arthur?
would play B. Arthur's daughter? Yeah.
No clue.
I know. That's
the tall one?
Tall. She's the
Has
tall
to be a
one.
sturdy
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, tall,
Sturdy.
strong
Is
women.
William the Refrigerator Perry still alive? Because we put a wig on him and he might be good.
Yeah. In the B. Arthur role.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, you throw in Jamie Lee Curtis, Goldie Hawn,
Gina Davis.
Davis.
Again, they have to be these older women, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Dude, I think we just cast the whole fucking show. Goldie Hawn,
Gina
Davis, Jamie Lee Curtis.
And then some
And
other
then you
old
have Betty
woman.
White, hold it down up top.
No,
That's your
Betty
show.
White can't be on the show because she can't talk.
Yeah,
she was
she's
on
too
one of the
old.
award
She's
shows.
almost like 100.
She was on one of the award shows, and she's at that stage in her life where 6 months ago she was all good, but she's completely fallen apart.
Really?
I mean, it was like they brought her out on stage, and I guess some people were going, "Oh, this is so great to see Betty," and I was sitting there watching, going, "No, Betty needs to be secluded at this point in her life. leave the memories alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't need to see this stage of Betty White. So unfortunately, we can't have Betty White unless we do
kill her off.
We can do that CGI thing.
A hammer attack.
We could do that CGI thing that they did for Tony Soprano's mom,
Sure.
Livia Soprano, for the last season, for the third season.
First episode. They're at her funeral.
Love that.
There you go. And you got to get the little one. Who is the little one? The little
Estelle
sarcastic
Getty.
one.
Yep.
Yes, got to get who.
And how about this?
Yep.
How about this? They're at her funeral, right? Yeah. And then you got some other actress. I don't know who you're going to get.
Yeah.
And she's at the funeral. They go, "Who are you?" And she goes, "I'm Betty White's daughter." And they go, "She had a daughter?" And then the girl goes,
"On,
She had this house of lesbian friends? I can't believe it." And then,
dude, that's it.
That's the show.
That's fucking it.
There
And
it is.
a new Golden Girls will crush.
Destroys.
Like, out of the gate, it will crush.
It certainly won't end up on Charter's fledgling Spectrum's original.
No.
Well, listen, guys,
This
I
was a delight.
appreciate you all. You guys are great. You can see Paul Virzi tonight at the New York Comedy Club. You can also see him, if you're not in New York, on your computer, your laptop, or your phone, or your tablet by going to Comedy Central's website and watching Bill Burr Presents Paul Virzi, I'll Say This. It's available to stream right now on Comedy Central's website. You can also go to Andrew Schulz's YouTube channel, The Andrew Schulz. You can see chapters 1 and 2 of his new special, Views from the Cis. Part 3 comes up on Sunday. Look, if you're sitting there, you're with your girlfriend, your wife, whoever you're with, and you've been looking to figure out some rationale behind Trump saying grab him by the pussy and why it's actually not such a bad thing, you watch chapter 2 of Andrew Schultz's Views from the Cis, because he sets up a nice argument for you. It's really good.
Yeah,
He'll be
you
at the
guys
Stress
are great.
Factory in Bridgeport on Saturday as
Come
well.
back anytime, man. I love having either one of you guys on.
Oh, dude, this was so much fun.
Terrific.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
You guys are awesome, and we'll see you all on Monday, right, Jim?
Yeah, I think so. We have Gervais is in on Monday. Who else?
Hey.
Ricky Gervais and Rich Voss are
That's
coming
right.
in. You talk about opposite ends of the spectrum. Are coming in on.
Yes, one is on the spectrum, and that'd be false.
They'll be in on Monday. I'm headed out to Cleveland, so Sunday night, turn on the WWE Network or WWE's YouTube channel. I think 6 p.m. Eastern, I'll be on the Fastlane Kickoff Show. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye.